there, folks, and welcome back to the Gamer's Grotto. Tonight we're going to be playing the new DLC that surprisingly came out for the Atari collection. Now, the last time we streamed the Atari collection was last year. Around this time, actually. Last year was the final DLC that supposedly came out, but I guess they're not done yet. So we got another DLC that just released, and we're going to check it out together, and by together I mean with Stu's Game Reviews, who is an Atari aficionado. And by that I mean he doesn't work for Atari, although he probably wishes he did, but he is an Atari collector of a lot of their games. Welcome, Stu, back again for another DLC.
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm pretty good, man.
Well, I don't know if I wish I worked for Atari, but I will say that Atari has gotten really good lately. Like, at one point, they were just, like, not even Atari anymore.
Yeah.
And now it's, like, it's not the same company that it was back in the day, like, in terms of ownership and all that, but, like, the guys who run Atari obviously really care about these games, and that's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is. Did you ever think that they would release a Namco collection in the Atari 50th anniversary?
I mean, I thought they were done in general. So
yeah, right. It leads me to believe that they're going to be just packing the shit full of more and more stuff. Because, like, they probably have another DLC in the works. Who knows? But it's pretty cool. But anyway, cool. Yeah, it is. Anyway, we're going to hop right into this. So Pac-Man and Beyond. From Pac-Man to Xevious, the early histories of Atari and the pioneering Japanese game maker Namco. Is it Namco? Namco? Namco?
I think Namco.
Namco. Limited, currently Bandai Namco, Entertainment Inc. were intertwined in surprising ways. So let's hop right into this. We got another timeline, of course. The first dot. Namco Limited, currently Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc., the pioneering Japanese game developer that gave the world Pac-Man, Galaga, Tekken, Ridge Racer, and more, is a well-known name in games. But did you know that Namco's history as a video game maker started with one of Atari's first big mistakes?
It's weird they're showing that picture, by the way. That's like a picture from Breakout. There's nothing to do with Namco at all.
I don't know. 1955, maybe they were responsible for drawing the nuts on that criminal. I don't know.
Maybe they were in prison and they broke out in 1955.
There you go. Mystery solved. At 29 years old, Masaya Nakamura founded Nakamura Manufacturing Company in Tokyo, Japan in 1955. This company started out by operating mechanical horse rides for children on the rooftop of a department store. That sounds like... Hold on. That sounds like a really bad idea.
Yeah, it does. Well, hopefully they won't look right at the edge.
Yeah, you know, let's make these mechanical horse rides. Where are we going to put them? On the roof, of course. Where else will we put them?
This looks interesting.
Thank you, Retro Engine. Great to have you here, man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure.
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully, anyway, yes. Notable and quotable. I refurbished the machines myself. I would polish them and clean them every day, and I was there to welcome the mothers of the children as they arrived. Masaya Nakamura, The Ultimate History of Video Games. So they were all on the roof? I'm very concerned about this business practice right now.
Well, it doesn't look like from the picture that there was any danger. They put like a thing there, it looks like.
Well, that's good. At least there's a gate made of wood that could easily break and send the kids plummeting to their death.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, Nakamura Manufacturing Company logo. The original logo for Nakamura's company was based on the original business of wooden horse rides. Well then. Namco. Eventually, Nakamura Manufacturing Company started producing its own coin-operated amusement machines. It started using the Namco branding on some machines in 1971 and changed the company name to Namco in 1977. Why is he in a samurai outfit?
It's like kimono or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that's true. It's a kimono, yeah.
Actually, that guy played Sub-Zero, I believe, in Mortal Kombat. Do you know that?
It sounds like you're just making something up right now.
Yeah, I'm making it up.
Yeah, I figured, yeah.
So I guess, why is it called Namco? Nakamura Manufacturing, I guess, okay. Na is Nakamura.
Yeah,
Manufacturing.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Not really. In August 1973, less than a year after the release of Pong, Atari opened Atari Japan to distribute its video games in the lucrative Japanese market. Unfortunately, Atari was not prepared for how difficult it was to break into Japan. They just grabbed a bunch of guns and broke into Japan.
Okay.
All right, let's watch the video. Here, I'm going to mute my mic here.
We had Atari Japan that we ended up selling to Namco. Atari Japan actually put Namco in the video game business.
Wow.
Before that, the only thing they did were kiddie rides.
Why did you end up selling it to Namco? What
Okay, we were young and dumb. And it turns out that in order to establish a business in Japan, you need all kinds of regulations, none of which we did. We actually started it by taking suitcases full of money, cash, and we rented a building, we hired people.
In Tokyo? Or
in Tokyo.
Oh, man.
And it was a thing where all of a sudden they kind of started catching up to us, and we thought, okay, this is not good. Maybe we can sell it.
Did you make a profit on the thing?
We actually did.
Nice. All small that ends well.
Yeah, but it was just, there's an interesting story there too. Pong for the home did not do well in Japan.
Too much space?
Kids wouldn't have their friends over. There wasn't a place. Homes were too small, and so kids would meet in a coffee shop or a karaoke center or something like that, but not at home. So the game that took off in Japan was actually Breakout. That's what established the consumer game market in Japan.
Now we see why Breakout is relevant.
Yeah, I guess so.
So they must have filmed that video like a while back, like when they first were setting up this collection, and they held on to it.
Why do you say that?
Because I mean, I doubt they just got Nolan Bushnell to come in again to film videos. I mean, he's wearing the same Atari shirt and everything.
Well, you never know. Maybe they're like, hey, we smell more money for these DLCs. Do you want to come back and record another video? And he's like, why not? Money!
I didn't think about that. It's possible.
Yeah, I think that's more the case. Notable and quotable for various reasons, including poor maintenance and a selection of inappropriate locations, Atari Japan's business was not really doing well. Masaya Nakamura, The Ultimate History of Video Games. Pong comes to Japan. In November 1973, Namco partnered with Atari to distribute Pong machines in Japan. This was Namco's first entry into the video game business. Space Race. Namco continued to distribute Atari's early arcade games in Japan, including Gotcha, Quadra-Pong, and Space Race. The Japanese language flyer for which is pictured here. You notice how this timeline thing is identical to the Mortal Kombat one I streamed recently?
Yeah, basically the same.
Yeah, it's like Atari's releasing so many of these for like different histories of different games. Like they've done the Mortal Kombat one, they've done this one. There's a slew of other ones on PlayStation Store that I haven't even picked up. There's one for like Jeff Minter or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
All of his games.
I ordered that one, but like ordered the physical version. It hasn't come yet.
Okay.
Same thing with the Karateka one too.
Yeah. So you should receive it within the next century. I would assume.
I know. You're right, probably. Next century.
Namco buys Atari Japan. In October 1974, Atari sold Atari Japan to Namco. Namco would continue to import Atari cabinets from the US and sell them in Japan. Breakout Smash. Namco had its first big arcade hit with Atari's Breakout, which was so popular in Japan that Namco eventually ended up manufacturing Breakout machines itself to fill the demand. Breakout/Le Mans flyer. A flyer from later in 1976 advertising Breakout alongside the Atari driving game Le Mans, which was also a success for Namco in Japan, though not nearly as massive as Breakout.
And Breakout was an amazingly popular game. And we talked about this before, but you know who created the Breakout arcade game for them?
I do not.
It was Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak.
Okay.
Steve Jobs worked for Atari.
And Breakout later on became Arkanoid, what we know as Arkanoid and all that shit,
Basically
too.
the same game.
Yeah.
Well, Arkanoid's a better version because it has like all the power-ups and stuff. But
Yeah.
Steve Jobs was working for Atari, and then he got Steve Wozniak to help him make Breakout. And he also sort of screwed him over. Like basically, he told Steve Wozniak he was getting paid a lot less than he really was, and he gave him part of the money, but he kept like 90% for himself. And then after that, they both left and formed Apple Computer together. And I think Wozniak didn't find out he got screwed over until like years later, basically.
Jeez. Okay, then. Kind of reminds me of the story of, Bill Finger and Bob Kane with Batman, and how Bob Kane took all the credit and then Bill Finger was like an afterthought.
Yeah, that's right. For years, it was always Batman created by Bob Kane.
Yeah.
I think now they actually say in the comics
They
created
do.
by Bill Finger and Bob
Yeah, they
Kane.
do, because they finally realized that Bob Kane was just taking all the credit.
Right.
Video golfer. Namco and Atari maintained a close relationship. In early 1978, Masaya Nakamura traveled to Pebble Beach in California to attend a meeting of worldwide Atari distributors and took first place in the company golf tournament. I don't know why that matters. I don't know why we care that he took first place, but that's fair. Okay, good for him. Yay! Starship 1. The Japanese flyer for Namco's release of Atari's Starship 1 arcade game, a black and white space shooter, played with a first-person perspective.
I don't think I've ever. I think I've seen this game.
Maybe it's available to play. We'll find out soon
Yeah,
enough.
I wonder.
Super Breakout. With Breakout having been a massive hit in Japan, it is no surprise that Namco jumped on the opportunity to distribute Super Breakout as well.
Which basically was almost the same game, I think, except it had like colors. So.
Oh, wait, hold on. We can actually play these. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. When we're highlighting these, it says play beside it.
Down. Oh.
Let's check them out. Oh, whoa, wait. Hold on. Let's go back there for a second. I just noticed something. What is going on right now? Hold on. I want to...
Really cool.
Yeah, no. I let me just shove a quarter into my TV. Okay. A single player... Breakout Platform Arcade, release year 1976. A single player brick-breaking variation on Pong's ball and paddle mechanics. Breakout was created by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, who would later form Apple. The working prototype came as a surprise to Atari's head of engineering, Al Alcorn, as it was not an assigned project. Alright, insert coin. I just want a one-player game. Yeah. There we go. This is actually...
The way this game worked, like, in real life, is that there was no color at all. Like, the whole thing was the color of those 02 and 00 at the top. And there was, like, basically yellow, like, there was colored paper, essentially, like colored see-through paper that was placed on top of the screen, or underneath the screen, so that it looked like there was color on those parts. But it was really only just, like, white, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what? I wonder why they decided to put it in color then.
If you look when the ball goes up there, it turns yellow also. You see that? You see that?
Yeah.
Because basically it's the whole thing is only just white. It just makes it look white. Why did they make it in color? Because they try to recreate the way it looked when you actually played it, and they it looks a little bit nicer probably, but that's basically the way it looked when you played it. What's the option aside from original? Oh, ugh, who wants that? That's gigantic.
Yeah. You can turn off the border, which is that border around it. View flyer. Is that the flyer we saw earlier? No. Well, kind of similar, I suppose. All right. Well, I mean, I did one round of that. I don't want to really spend hours playing playing that. So that we got another one over here that we didn't check out. Super Breakout. Super Breakout platform arcade, release year 1978. Programmer Ed Rodberg updated the original brick-breaking coin-op with multiple modes that the player could select via a switch, which was a rarity in 1978. Double offered a dual paddles and 2 balls. Cavity featured trapped balls that the player could free. And the high-tension progressive mode drops the brick walls closer to the player as the game progresses.
They had a Switch back then? I thought the Switch only came out like a couple of years ago.
Why did I bring you on this channel?
I don't know. I'm trying to remind you.
Smartass.
So this, I think, I'm not sure if this is actually the same thing with the color or not.
I don't know.
We can find out.
Why does it look like Michelangelo from Ninja Turtles here at the top?
You pick the mode. Hey, you can change the mode, so you can
see.
Different number of paddles. This is like there's trapped balls. When you free it, you get multi-ball basically, which is sort of cool. The paddle's pretty narrow though. Yeah, it is changing colors, so I guess it's the same thing.
Oh shit!
It's hard, and your paddle's tiny. Is there a way to make it bigger? Is there an option? There's an option to make the paddle bigger.
I don't think they had an option back then, so they probably don't have an option now.
Yeah, there might be a dip switch or something. Or take Viagra, that might help.
Take Viagra? Yeah. I'll take it alongside my Tylenol, which is supposed to cure autism, apparently.
I think it causes autism.
No, I know, I'm making a joke. What is going on here now? Why do I have 2 paddles? Sure, let's go for this. What the hell is...
Yeah, it's just,
Jesus!
How was that? It just dropped like a freaking brick. I guess there are bricks, so...
This is intense. Damn it.
Like you suck.
That sound is so obnoxious. It's like let's deafen you with this sound whenever you fail. Jesus. Do I get no more balls? Oh shit. Oh, well that was great. Yeah. No friggin just okay. I get the idea. Dip switch settings, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like loses lives.
Oh.
That's still helpful, but yeah, it'd be nice if you get a bigger paddle.
Yeah. That's true actually. That would have been helpful.
Also, the truth is, like, those games are the only real way to play them is with a dial. To try to play with your joystick is like, useless.
Yeah, no, it's a lot harder. 1979, Galaxian. Namco began releasing its own original games in 1978. In 1979, it released its first big original hit, Galaxian, which evolved the outer space shooter gameplay of Space Invaders with colors and dramatic action. Enemies would swoop down from their flight formation, dive bombing the player. Pac-Man. On May 22nd, 1980, Namco placed a single cabinet of a new game called Puck-Man in a Tokyo arcade. Soon renamed to Pac-Man, this simple maze game would soon become the biggest video game in the world.
You can't play Galaxian, by the way?
No. Unless, well, those are the arcade cabinets. I'm assuming that there's going to be versions we can...
Galaxian was like... Sorry, I cut you off. Galaxian was was such a huge game when it came out. I don't know if you if you played it or heard of it.
I've heard, of course, I've heard of it. I don't remember if I played it.
It's not a great game, but it was groundbreaking. Hey, always asleep.
Hey, always asleep. Glad to have you here, man. Hope you're doing very well.
It's the only kid here, though. Gamers Grotto's the working girl.
The working girl? Is that what you just said?
Sorry, the working guy.
Thank you. Don't mislabel me, sir. I got my lawyers here. All right. Iwatani and Nakamura. Pac-Man's original creator Toru Iwatara left and Masaya Nakamura pose with a Puck-Man machine.
They look very handsome.
The guy on the left looks more enthusiastic than the guy on the right. The guy on the right's just pompous.
He's
like, yes, I created this.
No, the guy on the right's not the creator. The guy on the right's just the owner of the company. So he's
okay.
I don't know what the hell this is, but it's making me money.
There you go.
The guy on the left is actually the guy who knows how to play games.
Yeah. Pac-Man VCS. Nearly 2 years after its original arcade release, a home version of Pac-Man finally appeared on the VCS. Highly anticipated by a world still in the grips of Pac-Man fever, it would sell over 8 million copies, making it the highest-selling VCS game of all time. And we can play it, too. Look at that. Oh, look. Let's rotate. Remember the last time we... I don't know if you remember, but we rotated one of these and there was a signature on it, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It was really funny, because these are actually scans done in 3D, which is actually kind of cool.
So this game is notorious because a lot of people say that this was the main reason for the crash. Because I don't think that's the main reason, but I think it's one of the reasons. So many people bought this game because they wanted to play Pac-Man, and the game is so bad compared to Pac-Man in the arcade that people were like, what did I pay for? What kind of crap? And then I think because of that, they didn't buy other stuff afterwards when it came out. This and E.T., I think, were the two big ones that caused people to be like, they're just screwing me over. I'm not buying any more of this crap.
Gotcha.
And apparently, they could have made a much better version of Pac-Man, but they didn't want to actually spend the money to do it, because they didn't want to put enough memory in the cartridge or whatever else. So all the ghosts are flickering all the time. You can barely tell the colors. They're not dots or freaking rectangles. It's horrible. And the noises are terrible. You'll see what you can play it, hopefully, right? Yeah, you can.
Yes, we can. Unfortunately, it sounds like unfortunately we can play. Pac-Man, platform Atari 2600, release year 1982. Gobble up video wafers while avoiding the Ghost Quartet in the first home version of Pac-Man ever released. While the graphics and audio were quite different from the original, it was the only official Pac-Man game on the Atari 2600 to include two-player alternating play. Yeah, this already looks terrible. I haven't even fucking started yet, and I'm already disappointed.
You hear the noise? You can barely even see the ghosts because they're flickering all over the place.
But never mind that. I can't even move up hardly.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. I agree. If I lived back then and I bought this, I would demand my money back. Oh, Christ, I almost got there too. Yeah, bugger.
That music is sort of famous when it goes doo 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 doo. Crappy music, not even much music actually, but that sound effect. I think they reused it for a lot of other games.
All right, that was fun.
You're not even playing the whole game?
I don't want to, dude. The flickering ghosts are giving me a goddamn seizure.
I know, it's seriously, right? Isn't it horrible?
It's pretty bad.
The guy who made it, his name was Todd Fry, and he speaks in a lot of conventions and stuff. And I never heard him speak or met him, and I feel bad for the guy. It's like, it's not his fault probably, but it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love at First Bite. Ha 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 ha. A gallery of magazine and newspaper advertisements for the long-awaited home version of Pac-Man. It's the game everyone is waiting for, at least until you boot it up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
les fantômes existants, les pleuveurs, Pac-Man les mange.
How do they write? Oh, okay, whatever. They couldn't find the English version of that?
I guess not.
Well, assuming not. Jeez.
Here you go. There's one in fucking German.
What language is that?
I don't know.
Like Norwegian?
I guess. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like I'm having a seizure reading through all these. The origins of VCS Pac-Man. Creating a version of Pac-Man that would run on the Atari VCS posed several tricky design challenges. In this video, Atari programmer Todd Fry explains how he set about tackling them.
I'm going to be right back, so I'm going to probably miss this video, but I'll be right back, okay?
All right, no problem.
All right.
We had a coin-op lab with the current leading coin-op games in it there in the VCS division. So we had a Pac-Man coin-op around, and honestly, it didn't really grab me the way Defenders did. Defenders was the game that really sung to me. Bob Pilar remembers this differently than I remember it, but the boss at that time, Dennis Coble, said, okay, there's 2 projects to be done, Pac-Man and Defenders. And Bob said to me, I don't see how to do Pac-Man, so I'll do Defender. The thing that made the dots was what's called Playfield. So Playfield was for, in the 1975 arcade games, was the chunky stuff you were driving around that was static, that was just fixed, that you couldn't change. But you could actually get in on the 2600 and change the playfield on the fly. Now, the maze is basically what playfield was for. Using the playfield for the dots was not what playfield was for, but we did. It wasn't easy, but basically in the same way you could chop the screen up into vertical slices, you could say, in this slice, when I get to this part of this slice, I'm going to go through and change the background as we go across the screen. But if you actually want to change them during the gameplay, if you want the second half of the screen to be different from the first half of the screen, you actually have to go and rewrite the playfield registers while the electron beam is moving across the screen. And that is doable, and that is how I did the dots. And then after that, we had discovered Flickr. Now, Flickr and Pac-Man is a big deal. One of the things you can do is just say, I've got 2 things that you can draw. 1975, 2 of those was great. Now we had 5 of them on the screen that mattered. Pac-Man has 4 ghosts and a Pac-Man and a fruit, which is actually 6 things that you would call players in some of our parlance, or sprites in normal video game parlance. And they are, they're little cartoon characters. And they change across the screen like the dots you're picking up, they're just little pucks, little ones. And there's only 2 of those. So, Flickr happened, right? Flickr happens by saying, I'm going to always play the Pac-Man, and I have 4 ghosts, and I'm going to draw one of them every 4th frame. And that's it. And then the ghosts are sitting there, they're on for a frame and off for 3, and then on for a frame and off for 3, and it looks horrible. And people know that. And I do so, and I say, look, they're ghosts. I mean, you could see them, they were good enough.
I don't know about that. That was pretty flickery. All right. A two-player game. Todd Fry felt that one aspect of Pac-Man that had to be preserved was a two-player mode. But this added even more technical hurdles. Digital Eclipse studio head Mike Micah joins Todd to discuss the impact of this feature.
I made this decision in Pac-Man to support the two-player game. So for me, what I consider to be really important about the coin-op game, and a lot of coin-op games do this, they're two-player games. You come up, you put in 2 quarters, player one's up, player one gets through however far and then loses, dies. And then player two comes up and plays their screen, and when they die, player one comes back and their screen is saved where they left off. Right, so this is, you're both progressing, basically to see who can get the furthest. Right, so you have to pick up where you left off for that. Storing what your score was, which is not that bad, but where all of the dots were and what level you were on in terms of difficulty, used, I'm going to say, a lot of ROM. And I laugh when I say a lot of ROM because a lot of ROM was like 22 bytes, right? But 22 bytes is a good chunk out of 128. Oh, there's 128 bytes of RAM. What's the problem? What are you whining about, Todd? But in that case, that was a decision I made. I really looked forward to people in living rooms having the coin-op experience, having a more social experience than watching another person play the game straight through and then taking turns that way.
I can recount knowing that Pac-Man was coming. We did a pre-order and we went to Sears. I got the Sears Telegames version of it, the black box version. Our whole family hopped in the station wagon. We went to go and we waited in line. We would play two-player and hand off to the next, because it was my mom, my dad, and my brother. And we played this game two-player quite often, and we had our own kind of tournament kind of going on in the family and everything like that. But I was when we think about it as a multiplayer game,
It never occurred to me that it didn't have to be a two-player game.
I love that it was a two-player game.
But I imagine people sitting on their couch in their living room with their buddy after school playing a game and then going to the other game.
So I had it timed to precision because when I was in school, we had a half-hour lunch. And I lived about 5 minutes away from the school. So my friend and I would run home. And the importance of having a two-player mode was it kept it fair. Because if one of us just started playing, the other person didn't get a turn.
Right.
And I think that after they just play through all
Until
their lives.
the whole games, right?
Yeah. And so that really sucked. So two-player mode was essential when you had very time-critical play.
Kind of not just that. I imagine that the whole emotional dynamic of, okay, my turn. I'll see how I do with this life.
Yeah.
And then, okay, now it's my life. And then yours, it's like, and like I get what you just said, the alteration is at a finer grain.
Yeah.
So you both get more kind of, you get maybe the same amount of playtime total.
But we went from a very competitive, when it was just one game at a time, to us actually kind of like cooperatively wanting each person to do really well. I don't know what the psychological reason for that was.
I wonder why he had to go to the interview with a naked lady on his t-shirt.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, obviously it's something on his shirt that was blurred out.
Oh, no. It's just they can't have product placement. So if he has a shirt that says Coca-Cola on it or whatever, they have to blur it.
I'm just kidding, but I wonder what it actually said. It probably said Atari sucks or something like that, or
Nintendo. It's just
yeah,
Nintendo one.
Nintendo.
But I was going to say something. Now I don't remember what I was going to say. Obviously, it wasn't very important.
You probably would have commented on the fact that he was laughing like an idiot.
No, that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Why Fry? After oh no, now I remember what I was going to say. So kind of off topic here. I don't know if it was Digital Eclipse that's bringing it out. I think that it's Night Dive Studios, but in a couple of days, the Outlaws remaster is coming out to PlayStation.
He seems like a good guy who sucks at making Pac-Man.
He seems like a good guy who sucks at making Pac-Man. That's funny. Why Fry? After Pac-Man's release, Atari began to pay royalty payments to designers of its hit games. Todd Fry ended up earning over $1 million in bonus payments, which turned out to be a double-edged sword. Alright, so let's check this out.
The Friday before the Monday that I started, the Activision crew left. They all just up and left to form Activision.
Wow.
They wanted their name on the titles and they wanted royalties. So after a year or so, after a couple years, a bunch of my friends left to form a company that did another Activision. They left to form a company called Imagic. And then one of the Atari engineers got hooked up with a major Hollywood outfit and started talking about doing another Activision-y, another Activision Imagic, a deal where we actually got compensated at a fraction of the profits of the products we did. Atari was paying engineers $35,000 a year to make 2 games that sold $500,000 each with a $20 or $15 margin. So they were making bank and paying reasonable salaries for something that actually some of us were the only people who could do at that point at a reasonable rate. And one day I went into my boss's office and I said to him, "George, I really like working here, but it's starting to cost me money." So they created a royalty program. The next week, it was 10 cents a cart, which is a pittance, actually. We were not businessmen. We were software engineers. We were pocket protector, thick glass nerds. We were nerds and burnout hippie nerds, and we were not Steve Jobs. We were not going, no, 10 cents isn't enough. We went, oh, that's great. And that was in very early March. And then Pac-Man sold 3 million copies in 2 weeks. And in early April, I got a check for $300,000, and that was awesome. So my last name is Fry, F-R-Y-E. And there's a boot company. Someone in coin-op, someone had gotten a big poster for Fry boots and written in large letters at the top, "Why Fry?" It's there's a thing in Logic layout where if you put a line across the top of something, it's a knot. So I took a big black pen and put a black line across the top of the Y, because why not Fry? I am the oldest I have ever been. I've got the whole rest of my life ahead of me. It's the longest since those times. And I actually am kind of having some kind of pensive retrospection. It's I wasn't really attuned to the impact that giving me $1 million had on people who were actually, I'm going to say, this is going to gag coming out of my throat, even more technically capable than I was, who could have done a better job of Pac-Man if that had been their role. And I just, why me? It's just right. The not wrong person at just the right place at just the right time.
I mean, it's basically, it sounds like he doesn't think he deserves it.
That's what it sounds like to me, too.
And he's trying to, excuse it.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, he got really lucky because a bunch of other people left the company, and then they decided to pay him because of that. And he got a shitload of money for creating a pretty bad game.
Yeah. National Pac-Man Day. Declaring April 3rd, 1982 to be National Pac-Man Day, Atari sent costume Pac-Man and Blinky characters to 27 different U.S. cities to hand out Pac-Man merch and drum up enthusiasm for what was then the most anticipated launch of any home video game.
I remember seeing pictures of that.
Is that Newman there?
It looks like Newman.
Hello, Newman.
No, he's not Newman. It looks
No, I know. It looks more like George Wendt, actually.
It looks like that guy from Groundhog Day. You know, the guy who says, "Yeah, going to see the groundhog," like that guy. That's what it looks like.
It looks like George Wendt. To me, it looks like George Wendt from Cheers.
A little bit, but look, the face though looks like that guy. Oh, it would be cool if like the ghost like ate one of those kids. That would be cool.
That's what's happening here. Okay, kid, so what's to be eaten by Pac-Man?
Oh gosh.
Interview with Pac-Man. Atari Age magazine must have caught up with the Pac himself during National Pac-Man Day, because it ran this interview with the legend in one issue. Wait, it's an interview with Pac-Man? Oh, for Pete's sakes. Get help. I'm sure lots of our younger readers would like to grow up to be video game stars like yourself. Did you have any special training to prepare for the work you do? I had what you'd call a well-rounded education. I was involved in high school dramatics. I played the lead in Central High's production of Man of La Mancha. I did more... I can't even read the rest. This is so stupid.
Read the entire thing to me.
Read the entire thing to you? Ah, you bastard. I did more acting in college, mostly theater and the round productions. I didn't neglect my studies, though. In fact, I graduated sphaera cum laude. And how did you get into show business? Frankly, it was rough. For a while there, I worked as a ball in those Follow the Bouncing Ball musical films. Then, when those went out of style, I got a job as host of a new television show called Celebrity Grapefruit. You may have missed it. We were canceled early in the season. After that, I had nothing to fall back on but residuals from some stunt work I did in an enzyme detergent commercial. That is until this game thing came along. Pac-Man, we don't want to pry into your personal life, but we understand you have a new girlfriend. Isn't it amazing how these rumors start? Let's set the record straight once and for
Read
all.
it with a Pac-Man, Wonka Wonka accent.
Read it with a Pac-Man Wonka. How do I do that? Let's set the record straight once and for all. There is a new arcade game with a lady Pac-Man, and they tell me she's real cute.
Willy Wonka accent. I was just thinking, do a Willy Wonka accent.
But Jesus Christ, why don't I just do... Willy Wonka. Why don't I just do the Mad Hatter? Isn't it amazing how these rumors start? Let's set the record straight once and for all. There is a new arcade game with a lady Pac-Man, and they tell me she's real cute. Alright, anyway.
Exactly.
Long hair lashes, a bow in her hair, and curves in all the right places. But I've hardly met the lady. I've been so busy lately, you know, personal appearances on National Pac-Man Day, working on my nightclub act. What the hell is going on? This is so stupid.
I don't know.
What is the point of this? What kind of act is it? Ballroom dancing? No, actually, I'm getting a chance to sing. I do a song and dance number to the rock and roll classic Leader of the Pack. Oh my god. And the audiences love our version of that old country and western song, Ghost Biters in the Sky. Sounds great.
I don't like Pac-Man anymore. What a jerk off.
What a jerk off. Sounds great. Any other projects in the works? I'm just putting the finishing touches on my autobiography. It's called Dot's Life, and I'm very excited about a special appearance my agent is working on at the World Series. You know how every year they have different celebrities throwing out the first ball of the series? Well, if everything goes right, I'll be the first celebrity ever to be the first ball of the series. It would be a heck of an honor. Sounds like you're a real baseball fan. Tell me, Pac-Man, who's your favorite player? Well, I was very impressed watching that new pitcher, Fernando Valenzuela. But my all-time favorite would have to be Willie Mays. Pac-Man, it's been a real pleasure speaking with you today. Before you go, do you have any special messages for our game-playing readers out there? Yes, drop dead.
We both have the same idea.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, I'm better than you. I'd like to thank them for supporting my game. You know, a lot of people didn't think I had a ghost of a chance in the video game business. After all, I didn't explode or shoot or crash or anything like that. But you folks have made this mellow yellow fellow the chompin' champion of the world, and I appreciate it. All right, that was fantastic. I'm glad I wasted my time reading that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right. That's my thoughts exactly. Newspaper advertisements. A series of daily newspaper ads counting down the days until National Pac-Man Day in hopes that no one would miss out on the festivities. Guess who's coming to dinner?
That's like from that movie, you know, the racial movie. You know what I'm talking about? So it's called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, actually.
I've never heard of that movie.
It's with Sidney Poitier.
Oh, okay.
This guy who like is in love with a white woman, and then he goes to visit her parents. And it's like, you know, a movie that came out a while ago, and it's about, you know.
I figured it was like Jack Nicholson. Hi there, guess who's coming to dinner?
It sounds like that too, but it's not.
It's me, Jack, your old friend. We're gonna have some spaghetti together. All right, anyway. Huh?
I'm just gonna double check. I didn't just hallucinate that.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, no,
while you check and see if you're hallucinating or not.
1967, Sidney Poitier. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The countdown continues. Anticipation for the VCS version of Pac-Man was off the charts, as seen in this update from Video Takeout, a video game store based in Los Angeles, California. The store expected to get copies on March 10th. And just announced for December release, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay. Whoa. There goes my controller. Whoops.
The funny thing about this is that this is like the only... You can actually probably still buy these games for this price. Like, this system, like, they made so many games, like, there's so many of them floating around.
Yeah.
They don't actually cost so much. Except, actually, go back for a second. Adventure 2, November 82, that never came out. I don't know what Hot Rocks is. I don't know if that came out either. Interesting. Anyway. Yeah, that was interesting.
So just like today, like you know, just like back then, today games are delayed, canceled, never come out.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed over the years.
Exactly.
West Coast shortage. While Video Takeout got a small number of copies of Pac-Man on March 9th, the store's April 1982 newsletter shares the news that while the East Coast of the U.S. was drowning in copies, the game was nearly non-existent west of the Mississippi River. What is this? What is this, an apology here? As many of you know, we are intent upon being the first with a new cartridge. So you can be the first in your neighborhood with a new game. Those of you who have taken advantage of our pre-orders have found we house Breakout, Star Voyager, to name a few. Well, a funny thing happened to Pac-Man on its way to Video Takeout. Early bird pre-orders were very lucky, and got yours out of that first allotment. Chose to send the next several orders to the east of the Mississippi.
This is ridiculous. You want to read this whole thing?
Right. The folks have been wading through thousands and thousands of Pac-Mans, now discounted to extreme ends by panicked retailers. Meanwhile, west of the Mississippi, except in a few isolated cases, Pac-Man is nearly non-existent. In our lesson, we purchased... What? In our... In our frustration with Atari, we sent elsewhere to get them that critical second shipment. It is meant in some cases selling them for less than we purchased them for. Bad business, you say? Not bad business, because you come first, and we understand that you don't understand that we don't have what is going on? This is so stupid.
You actually read this whole thing. It's just nonsense.
Because it's funny as hell. It's like just a guy like making up excuses to me.
Well, you notice on the bottom it says Hot Rocks bumped from April to July?
Yeah.
I checked and that game never came out.
Well, there you go. See?
So
another excuse.
Bump till infinity.
Yeah. We hope that Atari has learned from this marketing nightmare and this situation never happens again. We understand that Pac-Man was unusual in that Pac-Mania had occurred, and in virtually all other new virtually all other new games we have had what we needed. Well, we needed it from Atari. When we needed it from Atari, if the stock from the East Coast was shipped west, there would likely be no Pac-Man shortage anywhere. Meanwhile, with so many emphasis on Pac-Man, we ask this question. Can they possibly be on time with the May Yaw's Revenge release? Watch out, Atari. Magic and Activision are hot on your tail with fabulous product, and they deliver what we need for our customers on time. Well, clearly not, because Hot Rod is still not out. Okay. Good to know. I'm glad that, ever since then, game companies still have these bullshit excuses. Nothing's really changed over the years, has it?
It has changed a little bit, because nowadays they release it when it's not ready, and then they put some...
Exactly. As seen on TV, Pac-Man, a television commercial for VCS Pac-Man, emphasizes the game's family-oriented multiplayer nature, and of course, the fact that you could only play it on Atari.
First the Pac-Man eats through a maze of dots, then the Pac-Man heads for the corner spots, then he eats his fill of a power pill. And then all those ghosts turn blue, boo, and Pac-Man eats them all too.
Only Atari makes the Pac-Man home video game, and you can only play it on an Atari video game system.
Have you played Atari today?
That family must be the biggest, bunch of fucking...
That kid was not playing with that joystick. Did you see how he was twisting it around? It's like, okay, kid, pretend you're playing a video game. He's like... Even
when they died, they were cheering. It's like, what the hell's up with that?
I don't know. This is what happens when you hire your actors from Walmart. Pac-Man 8-bit. The VCS version of Pac-Man may have gotten all of the attention, but it wasn't the only version of Pac-Man that Atari released. This version for its home computers was much more similar to the look and feel of the arcade game.
Well, I have this, and it is way, way better. You'll see.
Let's just spin it around, check for autographs.
It's like almost infinitely better.
Pac-Man, platform Atari 800, release year 1982. Steer clear of Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde, while clearing the maze of dots in this version of Pac-Man, originally released for Atari's line of home computers. While it looks similar to the arcade game, this version plays more slowly and does not feature the animated intermission sequences.
Neither does the freaking 2600 one, so what's your point? Schmuck. Sorry.
Oh yeah, this is the version I played on my computer.
This is way better.
Yeah, no, this is way better. The ghosts don't flash all over the screen. I don't have a seizure.
And the sound is better. Everything
waka,
about
waka,
it.
waka, 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 waka. He just wants the waka sound. The proper waka sound.
Well,
that's why he's upset.
Like the waka sound for Pac-Man. I mean, it's not exactly the same sound, but it's close enough. This is so much more playable.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Leave me alone, please. I bleed easily. Okay.
They said that it's slower in the arcade, so fine, let it be slower. Let it be a little bit easier. This is a home version. It's not supposed to be so freaking hard. It's meant to have some fun. I'm sure it gets harder after the first level.
Get back here, I'm gonna eat you. Well, I am pretty much fucked now because I ate all of the power-up
Yeah,
thingies.
that wasn't a great strategy.
No, not at all.
Oh, look, he's really stupid. Oh, you can still do it. You can do it. You can do it. I'm cheering for you. You got this, man.
These ghosts are mentally challenged. I just want to point
Yeah,
this
they look
out.
stupid. You got this. You got this.
There is like literally no AI here at all. No, maybe not.
Oh, come on. Oh, you're blowing it. You had it. I can't believe this.
Now suddenly they're all after
Go through
me.
the tunnel. Go through the you get ready to. You got it. You got it. Yay! I thought you were gonna cold defeat out of the jaws of victory for a second.
What a gamer's grotto moment.
Clip it.
Clip it. I'm not on a webcam here, so it won't be much of a clipping point.
Yeah, I would agree. It's probably you need to get a webcam.
I really do. Well, that failed. Anyway, we get the idea. I'm not going through all that again. At least I passed it once.
Yeah, that's
All right.
cool.
Illustrating Pac-Man. Atari assigned staff artist Hiro Kimura the task of coming up with new artwork of Pac-Man for game boxes and manuals. Today, Pac-Man has a consistent visual identity, but in 1982, there were many different takes on the yellow dot eater. Jesus Christ. What the hell's that? Five Nights at Freddy's Pac-Man.
The ghost, that's the ghost.
Pac-Man VCS box concept art. Kimura's original unused concept for the VCS version of Pac-Man cast the main character as a metallic wafer chomping robot chased by massive grotesque monsters. Box art take 2. The next pass at the box art was much closer to Namco's original Pac-Man illustrations, while still emphasizing the pink ghosts and the rectangular wafers of the 2600 game. This version was used on some released game boxes.
I've seen that.
Final box art. The last version of the Pac-Man box art was unmistakably Pac-Man, an abstract version of the iconic Wedge-mouth sprite art. That looks way so basic compared to this one.
Yeah, I know better.
So this one is used in the Pac-Man adventure games that are on PS5. That's what he looks like in those.
Oh, okay.
He looks like that. Yeah. I might stream those at some point, actually. They're actually pretty cool games. Atari 8-bit computer box art. Kimura's concept of a human-proportioned Pac-Man did make it onto some retail boxes for the Atari 8-bit computer version of the game, although this pack was yellow, not metallic. He looks like an idiot.
He's supposed to be like a basketball player or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah? With those arms and legs? Okay.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Leave me alone. I'm on my way to basketball practice. I'm trying to eat my burgers in peace. What is this? Pac-Man Call of Duty? Pac-Man Strategy Meeting, an illustration by Hiro Kimura used in the inner manual for the computer version of Pac-Man.
Ooh.
Okay, so we're gonna attack over here. The ghosts are gonna be there. Let's see. We gotta eat all these dots in peace.
It doesn't really make any sense. If it would just have like 20 Pac-Mans come into the maze.
Right. It's so stupid. Atari 5200 box art. The original art for the Atari 5200 version of Pac-Man and an unused variant version. Artist unknown. I see that your screen share is going to end there in a sec,
Yeah.
so I'll the...
What?
It's,
Let's see her versions.
yeah, it's just him with a smiley, more of a smiley face. It's literally no other difference there. All right, give me a sec to just resend your screen there. All right, Pac-Man's Legacy. Digital Eclipse Studio head Mike Micah joins Todd Fry for a discussion of the impact, controversy, and enduring legacy of the VCS edition of Pac-Man.
Yeah, the controversy that sucks.
When I play this version of Pac-Man, I actually have some really fond memories of it because I played this game with my dad, and we thought this was the greatest thing ever when it came out. We're big Pac-Man fans. The difference between this and, say, the arcade game, there were obvious differences, of course. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on why, like what the approach was and why some of these decisions are, say, for instance, like even the play field and the colors versus like the arcade game? What was behind some of that?
There was a rule at Atari that you couldn't use a black background unless you were a space game.
Yeah.
And you know, the reason for that is because these televisions, these CRTs, have phosphor screens back then, and you could get burn in.
I was going to say, that still happens today even with OLEDs. I noticed because I've played the Atari on an OLED, and I've played this game called Mousetrap, and it has pure black.
Well, we had a rule, and and again, I've said this, I don't think there's anyone who says, wow, the game is way better with that blue background. But there are a lot of people who say, why isn't the arcade colors?
Yeah.
That's the answer. And I think it would have been probably better if it had the arcade colors. Now, what I'm fascinated by looking back is that no one in the signal path between me and out there went, oh, maybe we should give this game a pass on that rule. Well, the thing about these video games is that back then it was so new that I don't know, that you could walk up to a game and say what the most important features were. Now, I walked up to this game and said, well, ghosts, Pac-Man, dots, power pills, maze, right? I think there are some things that make Pac-Man Pac-Man.
Yep.
But we didn't know back then how much which less essential features were salient. My father had a pizza shop on Ocean Avenue in San Francisco in like the early 60s. And I used to go there when I was like 7 and 8. And there's this little pharmacy, and they had these comic books, which were great literature abridged versions, right? Of like, I don't know if you've ever seen these. But
I have. I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like, here's Treasure Island.
Exactly.
Here's pick another book whose name I forget.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. War and Peace, which, was 12 pages.
Extremely abridged.
Extremely abridged. And so I thought of this as being that, because we were not going to be able to get... Like, for instance, Pac-Man has a very distinct process. After I was done with this, I went with Jim Andreasen to Tokyo, to Namco, for them to explain how Pac-Man worked for the 400-800 version.
Yeah.
And each ghost has a separate algorithm for how it moves. When it comes to a decision point, I could never have done that with the amount of RAM and ROM I had. Yeah. Instead of having that algorithm for each player, I'm actually very proud of this. When they come out, I put it all together, and when they came out, all 4 ghosts were totally stuck together the first time I ran it. Because they all went the exact same. And it's like, whoa, I'm only getting,
There they go.
And so what I actually did, when Ghost comes to an intersection, it has a choice of moving in your direction or moving randomly. And there's some odds, right? How smart they are. In later levels, actually, the odds that they will move towards you are higher.
Yeah.
And then I take the ghost numbers, 0, 1, 2, and 3, that's 2 bits. And I take the low order bit and I tweak the odds by which they will move towards you by adding that 1 bit into the percentage of tracking you. That makes them smart and smarter.
And unique personality.
And that's a unique personality. And then I take the second bit and add that to the speed it moves. So each ghost has a repeatable personality. Each ghost has a unique personality. This has slightly smarter and slower, slightly smarter and faster, slightly less smart and slower, and it's not this, So they're all, they separate now.
Yeah.
And they each have a perfectly predictable behavior. My ghosts, their decisions are all made by either a generated signal or your position at that time. So if it comes to an intersection and it's supposed to choose whether to go towards you or away from you, it will be the same choice every time if you have done the same thing up till then. As long as you repeat your pattern, the ghosts will repeat their pattern, just like in real Pac-Man. And I am really proud of that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Right. Do you remember how many they built to put into distribution?
I've been told that. Well, so I know I was paid royalties on $3 million for March.
Okay.
So I know that. I think they may have actually either shipped $3 million worth of boxes to retailers, or retailers may have actually sold at cash register $3 million. I don't know which. I was paid royalty for like 11 million Pac-Mans.
Oh wow! You're watching television. There's TV shows on. It could be Friends. It could be like so many TV series, and somebody's playing a video game. They have an Xbox controller. It doesn't matter what they have. But what do you hear when you're watching it? You hear Pac-Man. It's either Pac-Man or Donkey Kong.
You hear this Pac-Man.
You hear this Pac-Man, and that gonk, gonk, gonk sound. Like, these sounds, you created all these sounds in this game.
I created all of these sounds.
How do you feel when you hear this?
You know, it's actually really interesting because really thinking about it, what that means is that for our generation, the 11 to 15 million copies that went out, actually, people who are making those soundtracks think people will relate to this sound. This is like...
It's become the video game sound.
It's become the video game sound, but it was the video game sound.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really the breakthrough video game that went from games selling 100,000, maybe 1 in 10 games or 1 in 20 games might sell 1 million.
Yeah.
To it sold 10 million.
It's crazy.
It's the explosion.
And nowadays, games sell even more than that, so...
Didn't he sound like still super defensive in that video? The other guy sounded like he was sort of...
Who, Mike?
Fry. No, not Mike.
What do you mean? What do you mean by super defensive? Give me an example of what you mean.
Like he was trying. It was more in the beginning where he was saying like, nobody knew back then like what made games good and like what was important about the game. Like I didn't know. Nobody knew. I'll tell you something. I knew as a kid that game sucked. So like it wasn't like you need to be a genius. You need to be a gamer. And I think the problem is I don't think this guy was a gamer. I think he was an engineer.
Yeah.
And as an engineer, he probably did a decent job making the game. I'm not saying he's not, but like, I don't think he made up. He's like, oh, I made up those sounds myself. Like those sounds are not very good if you're like listening for the arcade game sounds. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Dig Dug. Atari published Namco's next cartoon action game. Dig Dug in arcades in the U.S. like Pac-Man. Like Pac-Man, Dig Dug featured colorful, appealing characters and unique gameplay, and was a huge hit in arcades in 1982.
Good game.
Dig Dug, platform arcade, release year 1982. Dig your way to victory in the original Dig Dug arcade game. Inflate pukas and Figars, or just drop rocks on their heads. Either way you choose, it's time to thwart the underground invasion. Grab veggies for extra points and go for a high score.
You know what the main character in Dig Dug's name is?
No.
I don't remember either. I think it's like Taizo.
I thought you were going to tell me.
I think it's like Taizo Hori or something like that. Yeah, that's it. Taizo Hori. I had to look it up to be sure because it's not like a name that rolls off the tongue. That's his name, Taizo Hori.
I just found it funny the way you went about saying that. Like, you know what the main character is in Pac-Man, or in Dig Dug? And I'm like, no, what? I was like, I don't know.
Well, I didn't say I don't know. I said, I'm not sure.
No, I know. It's just... it just sounded funny, that's all.
No, Mark, did you know what the main character in Pac-Man's name is?
Yeah, Dick Fuck. I don't know.
No. Pac-Man! Oh, man.
Wait, what am I supposed... can I not attack them?
Yeah, you can.
I'm carrying a goddamn shovel.
Yeah, you can attack them. Not a shovel, it's an air hose.
Oh, there we go. You can throw stuff. All right.
You're supposed to drop the rocks on them. Keep pumping. Keep pumping. Sheesh, man. You gotta pump more than once. You gotta keep inflating until they blow up.
I gotcha.
When they made this game, it was so popular, even though it's not that amazing. It was. Are you ready? Oh my god! You just wasted a rock. You're about to die. I told you. You can only pump one of them at a time. Try again.
I'll do one more round.
You gotta try again. You gotta at least get the hang of it first. You can't just go down in history as a complete novice.
Are we playing? What's going on here?
That was just the intro. Now you're playing. Man. Guy's real novice, folks. I apologize.
Well, yeah, because I didn't really play these games as a kid. I didn't have an Atari.
Shoot something. There you go. You got one. Oh, no,
They just float up through the sand? What is going on here?
There's no patience for you to come to that. No. Oh my god, oh my god! Turn around! Oh no! No! That was sad.
This is crazy. They just clip through the damn environment. What is this? Freaking Doom?
Yeah, because otherwise you just sit there at the end of time and you never, like, they would never come to you. You gotta, like, they have a way to reach you also.
Shit, I thought this was gonna be like
Turn around, shoot him. There you go. Now the green ones can shoot fire, so be careful about that. After there's only one left, he's gonna run to the top and try to get away. Go to the top, go to the top, go to the top! Oh, okay, it's good. There you go, guys. Yay! Alright, I got 2 flowers at the top, that's level 2. It's amazing. Now you consider yourself a true Dig Dug player. Your score is 1980, which is very appropriate.
No, it's got to be 1981. That's my date of birth. So it has to be
1981. You're close enough. Oh my goodness! That guy just raped you. Death, rape. Sorry.
Now you're good. All right.
That's what that looked like. Oh my gosh. Well, it was fun.
Atari Dig Dug Flyer. Atari's promotional flyer for the US release of Dig Dug called out the fact that it was a maze game, like Pac-Man, but an evolution of the genre in which players could create their own mazes.
In other words, nothing like Pac-Man.
Yeah, no, it's nothing like Pac-Man. What the hell?
The
guy's name is Dig Dug, it says.
Oh, that's what it says here, I guess. Interesting. Officially, his name is Taizo Hori, but I guess this thing they call him Dig Dug. Interesting.
Dig Dug magazine ad. Ask for it where you play coin video games, says this ad for Atari's arcade Dig Dug cabinet. Why would you want to have a flyer like that?
Why is there rocks around it? Is it like in the wilderness, this cabinet? I don't get that.
Honey, did you remember to bring the fire starter for our fire? No, but I brought my arcade cabinet.
I brought your arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Good for one free play. Atari provided arcade operators with a coupon they could distribute redeemable for one free play of Dig Dug.
That should last them about 30 seconds, given your performance there.
Namco Dig Dug Flyer. Namco's Japanese flyer for Dig Dug called out the individual on-screen enemies and obstacles, and highlighted the different gameplay mechanics with humorous illustrations. Dig Dug goes to the movies. Atari's promotional campaign for Dig Dug included this amazing trailer that ran in movie theaters, accompanied by an original Dig Dug song.
I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending the 3rd International Conference on Science and Technology. This afternoon,
what the heck is that? Good gracious, there goes another one.
They're multiplying.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin. Mysterious underground creatures are moving your way.
We have a problem here.
chance. We're going underground to do the dig dug dance. First you tunnel through a wall of dirt.
Uh-huh.
Burrow under rocks without being hurt. Quick now, turn around. What do you do?
Face red heart shape.
Where are your women now? Huh? Where are your women now?
As your score gets
Yes, sir.
higher, they multiply.
All right, let's get cracking. Oh, you always want to come on. Dig dog, say something. Hello?
Just like a bazooka, use it to
They're
blow
called
holes.
hookahs, sidearms, and dig dog.
What are they doing? What happened? Eat all the veggies and
All they want is for us to play with them so we can all have a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Dig dug the greatest fighter of them all. Dig dug. Dig
Like from the folks that brought you Asteroids and
What
Tempest.
the fuck was that?
From the folks that brought you Asteroids and Tempest, John's Mental Hospital. Like that's what it seemed like.
That seemed like it was really high budget. Jesus Christ. How much money did they put into that ad?
I don't know. That was really insane. I mean,
It
like,
was.
It was just, I don't know.
I don't even know either, but it looked like they spent a lot of money on it. Pac-Man 5200. When Atari launched its next generation 5200 game console in late 1982, one of the first games available was, of course, Pac-Man. It was based on the computer version, but played much faster and featured the arcade game's famous animated intermission scenes. They spent a lot of drugs on it, too. Yeah, probably. Pac-Man, platform Atari 5200, release year 1982. Steer clear of Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde while clearing the maze of dots in this launch title for the Atari 5200 console. Atari's final official version of the original Pac-Man was based on the 8-bit computer version, but was improved with dramatically faster gameplay and the addition of animated intermission sequences between rounds.
I didn't know
Alright,
that. That's interesting. I thought it was just the same game. I didn't realize there was intermission sequences. I don't know if we're going to see any intermission sequences, of course, but maybe.
Yeah, because I suck.
It's possible we might see one. I'd like to see one.
I would too.
Don't eat the dots, the power pellets, until you need to.
I'm not. I'm trying to. The controls are really bad in this version.
Yeah, I can tell. I don't know why.
No, like like I'm trying to go up.
Yeah, I see.
Oh my god, this is terrible. I'm fucked.
You know what's really funny? The 5200, the controls were terrible. I wonder if they either intentionally or unintentionally copied the 5200 terrible controls.
I don't think so. It's just the fact that I'm playing this on a fucking PS5 controller. You know what I mean?
That shouldn't be that terrible. I mean, like, it shouldn't be maybe as good. But...
There's no, like, when I'm hitting down, when I'm hitting down to go down, I have to hit the joystick like 6 times.
Try hitting the thing like right before you get to.
Hang on, let me try using the.
Atari games have good controls, though.
Oh, that's better.
Did they
Try
really?
hitting the turn right before you get to the turn instead of right when.
Hang on. Oh. Did any Atari games have good controls though? Did they really? Says always asleep. No, probably not.
Some of them did.
He's lying. I don't know what he's talking about. He's lying to you. This man doesn't know what he's talking about.
But, did you hear what I said? Try to hit the turn right before you get to the turn.
I'm just trying to lure some of these bloody ghosts to me.
Oh, whatever. Always asleep, we're not going to see any intermissions.
You might! Give me a sec. No, never mind.
Well, there are...
Do you want to play it, sir?
I wish I could.
Is there a way you can play it? Hang on.
Probably not gonna work. I'll have PS4 or whatever.
Well, let's see. All right. There you go. Now I find. What do you mean? You hit X? Yeah. Okay, so use the. What I find is easier is don't use the joysticks. Use the analog. So the arrows to move them around.
Oh, it's really delayed.
Yeah.
Well, it's even more delayed than it is for me. Hold on a second, because it's sending like my stuff to your PS5, then it's like.
Yeah, it delays it. Yeah.
Jesus. No, this is not gonna work.
Skill issue.
Skill issue. No, delay issue.
Big lag here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if it's possible to overcome the lag, but I don't see how it is. Yeah, it's about a 3-second delay. Anytime I hit an input, forget it. It's not gonna work. Oh well.
Amazing
We tried.
gameplay. What graphics?
James says, amazing gameplay. What graphics? Yes, this is definitely Game of the Year material right here. All right. I'm gonna just switch back my control. So there you go. You should still be able to see the screen and everything. I'll do one more round. I'll do one more round and see if we can make some kind of headway here. And if not, then we'll just carry on, because I don't know how much more videos and stuff there is in this DLC. See, there's... Even using the arrows, it's really hard to control. I just feel like he maneuvers. Everything's too fast. This is the biggest.
I actually enjoy Pac-Man 10 times better than a lot of modern games, but how are you guys?
We're good, man. I hope you're doing well. I put up my tree yesterday. I know, pretty early. But I have my Christmas tree up and everything, and got all my Christmas stuff out. I like to put it up early, get in the spirit. Well, we might be able to see an intermission here. I don't know. Nope, never mind. I still have one more life, though. Get ready! Oh, well, I would, except it's really hard to control this. Where you going, Ghost? Shit! Oh, they all ganged up on me. Well, I got close, Stu.
Well, you did get very close, but I think you need to beat like 2 boards to get intermission.
I still have another life, apparently.
I'm getting over a bad cold and I lost another Finch last night, sadly.
Sorry to hear that, James. You bitches! No! Alright. Well. We tried.
Yeah, you tried. It probably is the controls are bad. I don't think it's only your
No, it is definitely the controls are bad. Yeah. 4 out of 3 stars. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Here, actually. Yeah.
Pac-Man 5200 review. Computer Entertainer newsletter celebrated the 5200's version's fidelity to the arcade original, but noted that the 5200's non-centering analog controller was poorly suited to playing Pac-Man. The reviews also noted the usefulness of what was then a cool new feature, a pause button. But here's the thing, 4 out of 3 stars? What does that even mean? Shouldn't be the other way around? 3 out of 4 stars?
It must be like 4 stars and maybe 2 different reviewers. One give it 4 stars, one give it 3 stars, or something like that. It must be something like that.
Pac-Man has all the musical and visual charm of the arcade game by Bally Midway that has captured the fancy of millions. No more flash and ghost, folks, and all the little fruit prizes you expect to find out here in this version. Alright, anyway. There are even intermission cartoons scattered here and there. With all this good news, why didn't we give this version of Pac-Man a higher gameplay rating? The analog joystick that we like so much on most of the games can be a drawback in this one, because this joystick does not snap back to a centered position. When released, it can be tough to turn corners exactly when you want to. That's the problem I had. So yes, they kept the shitty controls in. In the heat of the chase, you can think you're pushing straight up on the joystick and find out that you're actually pushing the upward right diagonal. This you find out after the ghost demolishes your Pac-Man and you look down at the joystick in your hand to see where it's really pointing. While we feel that a real Pac-Man fanatic will gradually overcome the problem with a lot of practice, it may be discouraging to the casual player. This criticism aside, the game is totally charming and lots of fun to play. One feature that's very helpful to the player who really wants to study his game is the pause button on the hand controller. When you can see that your demise is imminent, you can hit pause, freeze the game action, and study your options. Something you certainly cannot do on the arcade game. Recommend it. Retail $39.95. Fair enough. I guess that's one of the first games to invent a pause button, maybe?
Yeah, it might be.
Galaxian 5200. But Pac-Man wasn't the only Namco game playable on the 5200. The new game machine also launched with a 5200 version of Namco's 1979 arcade game Galaxian. While there had been several unauthorized versions, this was the first official home version of Galaxian.
Is that true?
I don't know. I guess so. Galaxian, platform Atari 5200, release year 1982. Destroy the fleet of Galaxian invaders in the Atari 5200 version of this legendary arcade shooter. This version and the identical version for Atari 8-bit computers were the first official home versions of Galaxian ever released.
I think I have that. But I also have the one for IBM PC, which was released by Atari as well.
It's basically like Space Invaders, I guess.
Yeah, it's like Space Invaders, except they fly down. Because like the original Space Invaders, they just stay in one spot.
And they kill you.
Yeah, like that.
Excuse me, people.
So
I'm trying to kill you here. Damn it, Jesus. This is not easy.
I bought not that long ago, a couple years ago, like a Space Invaders DX collection or something.
Yeah.
And it came with a copy of a Space Invaders board game that they sent me in the mail. I didn't play it, like, just like whatever, but like my kids kept like saying, "Daddy, let's play the Space Invaders game." And then finally, like a couple weeks ago, we played it. It was actually a lot of fun, surprisingly. I won by 1 point. And we defeated the Space Invaders.
I noticed that I remember you used to like bring your son on to do like games with you. Does he not like to do that anymore?
No, he does, but he's just more busy these days with school and stuff and track and stuff like that. So it's gym. So it's like harder to find time.
God, it's been like it's crazy because I remember when he was like younger and you brought him on the channel. It was like a couple of years back, and now he's like what, 20?
He's 17.
Oh, is he 7? Okay.
Yeah.
17 and already preparing for college?
Well, college are usually 18.
I guess that's true.
He's 33.
He's 33. Did I win? What's going on here? What's happening? Oh, has to load up the new enemies. This is what I would call a masterpiece game. Alright, anyway.
Masterpiece?
Yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess with all the enemies all over the place. Galaxian Warriors, a TV commercial for the 5200 version of Galaxian, shows the game from the perspective of the alien squad, who actually end up winning the game. Wait, are we the baddies? Alright, let's watch this.
Galaxian warriors, today we're going up against a most feared commander. And everyone counts. Even you, Quid.
Man your ships. Man your ships. Man your ships. We're going in! Assume attack formation. All wings ready, sir. Okay, I'm peeling off. Cover me. Cover me!
Roger on that, Blue Leader.
Heavy fire, 17 degrees. Affirmative.
This guy's good.
Watch your back.
We lost Blue Leader.
I'm hit. Who's left?
Quid.
No!
Quid, you're a credit to your cartridge. Galaxian, the arcade hit, now for the Atari 2600 system.
Okay then. Wait, this is the Atari 2600 system? And then it says this is for the 52 version of Galaxians. That doesn't make any sense. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
I guess they're wrong about that.
It's either that or they use the same commercial for the 5200 version as well.
Maybe.
Rather than make another one. Box art. Original art used for the boxes of the 5200 and computer versions of Galaxian by artist Jim Kelly. What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Aren't we in this spaceship flying? Oh, okay. Which... I'm sorry, I can't. That doesn't even make any sense. Which player is about to score? A magazine advertisement for Atari's version of Galaxian presents two scenarios and
on the side of a van.
On the side of a van?
It's one of the other one. Oh, the other one.
Presents two scenarios and challenges the reader to pick the highest scoring strategy. Galaxian 8-bit. He's still... Okay, alright. Galaxian 8-bit. Atari also released a version of Galaxian for its home computers, which was basically identical to the 5200 release, since the 5200 itself was based on the 8-bit computer hardware.
That's pretty cool looking. I don't think I have that one.
Well, there you go. Now you have to go buy it.
I think I have a loose cartridge.
I don't know if I want to... If it's the exact same as the 5200 version, I'm not going to play it. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, here we go. 4 out of 4. So I don't even understand that review. Galaxian 5200 review. The staff of the Computer Entertainer newsletter gave the Atari 5200 version of Galaxian 4 stars in its November 1982 issue, calling it an excellent version of the arcade game that will save you a lot of quarters. Galaxian brings the Bali Midway arcade game to the home TV screen in all its glory.
Losing a pet and colds are the worst, especially the sore throats and non-stop cough.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I can't. No, I understand that completely, man. I hate colds when I get them. Once again, this is an excellent version of the arcade game that will save you a lot of quarters. The intergalactic warrior fleet attacks from above a la Space Invaders, but individually, members of the fleet will peel off sometimes in groups to bombard your ship at the base of the screen. This version provides a total of 32 waves of aliens. Atari claims you're a real pro if you can make it past the 16th wave. And 10 skill levels. In the first skill, even the neophyte can do a creditable job, since the Galaxians don't fire at your base. Good for small children and adults new to video games. The game may be played by 1 or 2 players, and it will be adaptable to the trackball controller. Recommended, retail $39.95. Alright. Xevious. Namco's arcade division continued to produce hits, perhaps none so influential as Xevious, which not only kicked off the vertically scrolling shooter genre, but won praise for its deeply fleshed out world and characters. Atari published the arcade version in the US the same month as its Japanese debut. Xevious Platform Arcade, release year 1983. Board the Solvalu, and take on the forces of Xevious in the grandfather of all vertically scrolling arcade shooters. This original arcade version was a highly influential game, not only for its dual-button air-to-ground shooting action, but for its fleshed-out characters and world building.
I wonder how your bot says Xevious.
Pretty good, actually.
It said it right, actually. Yeah. It's one of the only words that says right, apparently.
That's amazing. This is one game I haven't really played. I do have it for PC. Also.
Pretty sure if you tell it to say Christmas, it says Christmas. This actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. I never, like, when this was in the arcade, like, there's always something better to play, so I never really spent a lot of time on it. Like, it's good, but it's, like, pretty basic. Like, they had, like, at the same time, like, you know, Capcom, like, 1942 and stuff like that. Whoa. Only one left? Really
I guess you only get 2 lives. Kind of weird. Well, they gotta suck up your quarters in the arcade, right?
Can you hold the button down?
I can.
But it goes much slower. If you want it to fast fire, you gotta keep slamming on the button.
You have to keep on hammering on the button, yeah.
That's annoying. I don't know why you have to do it like that. It's so freaking annoying. You do pretty well. Is there another second button to bomb stuff? There must be. You have crosshairs even. If you have a second button, there you go. You can bomb shit.
I don't know if that's...
No, you can bomb the things on the floor. You get them in your crosshairs, you can bomb them. Let's bomb those guys.
Jesus. The downside to this game is that it's,
Oh, you get 3 lives.
Is that the sound effects and the music are really annoying. It's just an endless loop.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, I think...
Is Stu behaving himself? He's not doing anything crazy.
Not much I can do
give him time, man. It's still early. Are we at a boss here? Coming up?
Try to bomb that thing. You gotta aim with the crosshairs. There you go, you got something. Good job. You get points for that at minimum. Keep those things. Those are on the floor, I guess. Nice. Good job.
I didn't forget that Disney and TMNT Minecraft stream lol.
You still bring that up, James. Jesus Christ, that was so long ago.
You didn't forget it, that's what you said. He's never gonna forget it.
He's never gonna forget it, yeah.
Live on in infamy.
Atari Xevious Flyer. The flyer for Atari's version of Xevious called it the challenge of a lifetime. Magazine ads. Atari took out multiple advertisements in consumer magazines to let them know about the new game they could find in their arcade and their local arcade. Operators prepare. An advertisement from Atari lets arcade game operators know that its upcoming release of Xevious would be supported by a major media blitz, including TV and radio ads.
Ooh.
Namco Xevious Flyer.
Bringing it up when I'm 80. Remember back in 2024,
yeah.
Stu and Grotto lol.
That's funny. You'll be bringing it up when you're 80?
How old are you now, James?
He's in his 30s, isn't he?
Are you
79. Namco Xevious Flyer. Namco's Japanese flyer for Xevious was a deluxe 6-page fold-out sheet.
35.
35?
So,
I was right. I was right. You're in the 30s.
I hope I'm still able to hear you say that when you're 80. That'll make me happy.
Hey, you remember back in the day on this Stu's Gamers Grotto YouTube channel, this guy, Stu's Game Reviews, was playing Minecraft Ninja Turtles, and he was acting like a real putz.
I'll be like, what? What'd you say?
Yeah. Alright.
Speak up, Sonny!
Xevious postcards. Promotional postcards distributed in Japan show the Andor, Genesis, Grobda, and Tarazi enemies.
Wow, exciting. It's probably cool if you still have that today, but.
Easter egg. Want to see Xevious developer Masanobu Endo's Easter egg? As soon as you begin a game, move your Solvalu to the lower right corner of the screen and rapidly press the bomb button until this message comes up. Ivizu is Endo's nickname.
That's it. Original program by Yuzu.
You know I'm just joking around, lol. I highly doubt I'll even be using YouTube by then.
Yeah, plus when you're in a senior's home and talking about Minecraft Ninja Turtles to to the people in the home, I don't think they'll understand. The world of Xevious. The 16 different levels in Xevious each show one slice of a larger world map. The full map shown here is not ordinarily viewable in the game.
Cool.
Design documents. Design documents from the development of the arcade version of Xevious. Galaxian VCS. Atari had one more version of Galaxian up its sleeve. This one for the Atari VCS, since the arcade game was already 4 years old by this point. The box calls it an arcade classic, an early example of a retro game release. They will think you got dementia. Yeah, probably. So this is the Galaxian Atari VCS version. Let's check it out. Galaxian Platform Atari 2600, release year 1983. While some believe that replicating Namco's colorful dynamic outer space shooter on the Atari 2600 was impossible, programmers Mark Ackerman and Glenn Parker were able to display vastly more on-screen enemies using a new graphics technique for which they were awarded a patent.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's quite good, actually. That definitely, like, you know, captures the game. Even the sound is reasonable.
Yeah.
Glenn Parker, are they related to Peter Parker?
Yeah, they are. How'd you know?
How'd you know? Yeah, how did you know?
Funny you asked that, because, I mean, I think that's the next thing that they're about to say in this collection, right?
They just have an interview with Peter Parker. When my uncle made Galaxian, or I mean, Xevious.
That was Uncle's Ben.
No, his other uncle.
Oh, his other uncle. Okay.
No, Uncle Ben is responsible for making, you know, that rice.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, 2 left. You did pretty good, though.
I'm trying here. The problem is this goddamn thing is all over the screen.
The home version, I'm sure, is easier.
I gotta say, I always found it odd in every Spider-Man trilogy he lived with his grandparents. What happened to his parents?
Go ahead, sir. You're trolling us, James, right?
So there. Peter Parker's parents are dead, first of all.
You couldn't help it. Alright, go on and explain it.
Well, the version that I know is that his parents... The version that I know is that his parents worked for Oscorp and they were killed. They were scientists. They were scientists at Oscorp.
It's not his grandparents, it's his aunt and uncle. Don't you know? Like it says, like in every movie, it's Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
Yeah, no, it's Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Yeah, they're not his grandparents. They're his aunt and uncle. But Peter's parents died. They were killed at Oscorp, and nobody knows. There's different versions to the story. Like one version is that Peter Parker's dad was responsible for developing the Venom suit, the Venom symbiote, if you will. That's one version of it.
Is that in the game?
I think that was in the second game, yeah. But well, it's brought up in the second game. Obviously, Peter Parker's dad is not alive. Oh, come on, just die already.
Man.
It's like that goddamn one mosquito in your house that flies around and you can't swat it because it's so fucking annoying.
It's annoying.
Oh my god, why is this taking so long? There we
Oh,
go.
you got it. Somehow by accident.
Alright, that was fun. I don't want to keep on going. I mean,
It
we
was
get
actually
the
pretty
idea.
good, though. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Fun, yeah. Hell, so fun to me.
The making of a Galaxian VCS. Mark Ackerman, one of the designers of the VCS version of Galaxian, explains the development process and how he was awarded a patent for his efforts to replicate the arcade gameplay.
I wonder if he made any money off the patent.
The job at General Computer was actually my first job. You know, they had just inked a deal with Warner, Atari's parent at the time, to do a whole bunch of games, and they didn't have enough people to do it. So, you know, they were happy to find more people. And they said, you know, can you program something with 128 bytes of RAM? And I thought they meant 128K, which was a reasonable amount at the time, only to find out later when I showed up that it was much smaller. And it was a great experience. One of the reasons that Warner came to General Computer was they thought that they would get a more professional atmosphere and
just download more RAM. What's the big deal?
To get from the second floor to the first floor. We had an arcade. We played games on our coffee breaks. You know, everybody was really top notch. In '83, GCC hired more MIT graduates than any other company besides IBM and Xerox. So everybody was really good. And I was one of the oldest people. I think I was all of 27 or something. Glenn Parker was actually part of that team as well. For Galaxian, it was just Glenn and myself. Glenn was a great programmer, and he was doing the gameplay. I was doing the graphics part because I wanted to learn how to do that. You know, we could ask each other questions or whatever, and he was sitting right in back of me, or I guess on the other side of me. And so we could bounce things off of each other on a constant basis. There was also Patty Goodson, who did the music and some of the early graphics, because I can't draw and I can't do music. The music is actually really hard on the Atari 2600 because it's not a full octave. She had to kind of skip parts to make it sound right. So that was really great that she could do that. I don't know how long that would have taken us to do it. The other problem, though, was that the graphics on the Atari couldn't really handle the number of sprites that were available in the actual Galaxians. If you remember Space Invaders, it was really only 6 across because that was the standard thing. I will give, again, I'll give myself a little credit here, but I managed to discover through, again, kind of random luck, a way to get 8 things on a line and be able to turn them off and on. And that was really just hacking the code and freaking out the chip so that it did things that weren't part of the spec. And that's, I think, what really made the game. And then, of course, we went to the Consumer Electronics Show where it was shown for the first time. And it was, again, quite an ego stroke to kind of stand there and watch the programmers from other companies come and go, how did they do that? And so, you know, that I was kind of standing off to the side so I could kind of watch. So, you know, I think Patty did a really nice job with the music and the sound effects, and the visuals were at least looked real. And, you know, the graphics weren't as chunky as they were on earlier games. I mean, Atari gave it to us at GCC because they thought it was an impossible cartridge. And so, you know, to be able to come back and say, oh, by the way, we figured out how to make it work was really a big win.
Have you heard of GCC before this?
No, I have not.
So GCC, they're most famous for making Miss Pac-Man.
Okay.
I think there were a couple of people that figured out how to hack the Pac-Man arcade board and make their own version. And they called it Crazy Auto originally. It was like Pac-Man running around on legs, if I remember correctly. And then I think Namco or Atari, maybe it was Atari, probably Atari, they found these guys, and they're like, these guys really know what they're doing. Could you actually make a real game for us? And they made Miss Pac-Man. And then I guess from that they became, started working with Atari and doing other stuff. But like it was originally a couple people just figuring out how to hack it. So, pretty cool. And obviously Miss Pac-Man is probably much more, not more famous, but more playable these days than Pac-Man. Like, I think tons of people love playing Miss Pac-Man all the time. So, anywho, just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, no, for sure. Galaxian box art. Original art used for the Atari VCS Galaxian box by artist Hiro Kimura. It's a nice piece of art.
I need a hero.
That's good. That's the theme song for Galaxian. Look out below! An ad from Atari Age magazine touting the impending release of Galaxian for the Atari VCS.
Not a very good ad.
Galaxian 2600 review. Computer Entertainer Newsletter's review was over the moon for the 2600 version of this all-time classic, calling it one more example to remind the gamer that the little Atari 2600 is capable of great things in the hands of a really good programmer.
I was watching a YouTube video earlier of opening day for Star Wars in 1977 and tickets to get in were only $3.75 back then.
$3.75 for a ticket to get into Star Wars in 1977. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, price has gone up considerably, but then $3.77 was probably a lot more back then. I remember there's this video you can watch on YouTube of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his father Pierre Trudeau going to see Star Wars for the first time, and they're being interviewed by like
$30 or higher.
By like CBC News or something like that, which is in Canada, and it's Justin Trudeau coming out of the arcade, out of the movie theater, and he must, I'm thinking he's about 6 years old or 7 or something like that. And they just shove a mic in front of his face and they go, "What do you think of Star Wars?" And he's like, "Oh, man, let me tell you, Star Wars is amazing." And he's just like going off about it. It's a really funny video. You guys should look it up online.
But he was Prime Minister then, I'm assuming, right?
At 6 years old? No.
No, not just his father.
Oh, yes, his father was. Bali Midway coin. Galaxian is an excellent translation of the Bali Midway coin op, which is one of the two all-time classic slide and shoot invasion games. The other being Space Invaders. Atari has done a superb job of converting the classic arcade game into a home version for one player. There are 9 horizontally mobile laser bases capable of shooting at a fleet of aliens moving back and forth across the screen. However, instead of gradually descending en masse, as they do in Space Invaders, individual members of the fleet will peel off and fly at your base, dropping bombs and attempting to ram you.
One movie thing and not be what it became.
Probably.
Yeah. Destroying...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Destroying any member of the Galaxian fleet while it is in flight earns you twice the points you would get for merely picking it off while in formation. This is because the Galaxians are a lot more dangerous in flight than they are in formation. The top row of aliens, flagships, and next to the top row, escorts, are the most critical fleet members of all. The flagships and their escorts are good for bonus points when flying together, especially if you can pick off 2 escorts in flight before destroying their flagship in flight. Unfortunately, you don't always have a lot of choice when the action gets frantic, as it does in the higher skill levels. Often it's a matter of destroying whichever alien looks as if it is most likely to destroy you. The graphics of this version are just as colorful and crisp as you could possibly want them to be, and gameplay is remarkably faithful to the original arcade game.
That's what I was going to say before, but I just figured you'll get to it.
Yeah. This is one more example to remind the gamer that the little Atari 2600 is capable of great things in the hands of a really good programmer. Galaxian is a classic, and it is definitely a worthwhile addition to your game library. Recommended MSR $29.95.
Definitely looks like a good game, but you don't need 50. Some people want to have like every single version of every game, but like you don't need 50 versions of the same game.
No. Dig Dug 8-bit. Atari released its first home version of Dig Dug in early 1983 for its 8-bit computer line. Gotta check for autographs.
Oh yes, Dig Dug.
We played Dig Dug before I was asleep. Were you paying attention?
I wanna get one of these. Yeah, we already played it. Yeah, earlier. I wanna see one of these game.
The opening day Star Wars came out and it was out the door, but she went to see Jaws instead cause they there are.
So I want to see one of these game boxes scanned, kind of similar to the one we found that had like a signature on it. Instead of a signature, it just says, "Here's your goddamn game. Now go out and mow the fucking lawn." On the bottom of the box.
Go back to Dig Dug then.
Go back to Dig Dug? Well, we're gonna play it right now. Dig Dug platform Atari 800. Release year 1983. The original version of Dig Dug for Atari computers. This unique version has slightly different gameplay from the arcade original. Soon after its release, Atari stopped selling this version, replacing it with an identical port of the Atari 5200 game. Oh. Alright, here we go. Player 1. Whoops, what the hell happened there? Alright. Whoa! This is a lot different. What?
It's pretty much the same, but the music doesn't sound quite as good, but the same music.
What is that? That's the rock. Oh, okay.
Shitty version of a rock. Yeah, they don't look quite as good, but the gameplay looks pretty much the same. Especially the green dragon guy looks horrible. It looks like an alligator.
It's a good thing I have my extra long penis over here that I can hit you with.
It also looks a little bit slower.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting, man. Seriously, what's wrong with you?
Oh! I don't think so! Come here! I guess I lost because I didn't get him in time. Oh, there we go. So what happens if he escapes? You lose? Stu, I'm talking to you.
No, I thought that's a rhetorical question. If he escapes, you just don't get the bonus points for it.
Oh, okay.
Like if you get the guy when he's about to escape, you get more points than if you got him without him escaping. But if you miss him, you just lose the points completely. I guess they're cowards. That was cheap. That was really cheap. I guess they're cowards on like once there's only one of them left, they don't want to fight you anymore. I guess. I don't know. I watched, Mark W. and Rob Bob present.
Yes, I am subscribed to him.
I've seen him play this game, and he's way better at it than I am. Like he knows, he drops rocks on these people all the time. Like he knows all the strategies. Like basically, if you go under a rock, like whoa, that guy's he's leaving. He's trying to leave.
Why is his channel named two names? I never.
Rob Bob is his son. And his son sometimes comes on the channel. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
If you dig, what he would do is he'll go underneath a rock, but like from far away, and he'll dig a tunnel. You might get him with the rock here. Oh, dude, just go. Oh wow. So notice here that they let you get more than one of them at a time. The arcade version you can't do that. Remember, you kept dying.
Yep.
This one's much more forgiving.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it was cheap.
You son of a bitch. You're going up here, are you? You're gonna manifest up here? Smart ass. There you go. Think you're so smart.
Alright, we get the idea. I'll just save my progress, I guess. Whoops. Alright. I see that your screen share is ending again, so let me just quickly fix that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There we go. Alright. Dig Dug box art. Original art used on the covers of the computer VCS and 7800 versions of Dig Dug by artist Gus Allen. Wait, it's supposed to be a dragon?
I don't know, I still need to connect. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that green guy's supposed to be a dragon. That's what I was saying.
Oh.
It looked more like an alligator in that last version.
Dig Dug promotional art. Illustration of Dig Dug and Puka by artist Michael Anthony.
His name is Taizo Hori, not Dig Dug, idiots. You'd think that they would know that.
Manual art. Illustration of Puka used in the manual for Dig Dug on Atari 5200. Well, hold on. Let's look at the original box for a sec.
I guess they call him Dig Dug in the American side.
Hungry Gardener. It just calls him a Hungry Gardener.
Oh, yeah.
Dig Dug 5200. In October 1983, Atari released Dig Dug for home game consoles. This version for the 5200 was totally different than the computer version released earlier in the year, and in fact, this version released earlier in the year. And in fact, this version would eventually be ported to 8-bit computers, replacing the original. I don't know if we need to play this one, to be honest.
You just check it out to see what it looks like.
Yeah, I guess. Dig Dug, platform Atari 5200, release year 1983. Dig to defeat Puka and Figar, but keep an eye out for valuable veggies. This version of Dig Dug for the Atari 5200 was the closest to the arcade experience that American gamers could experience in 1983, and was also available for the Atari 8-bit computer line.
I wasn't even born when these games came out.
That's crazy if you think about it. This looks shittier than the other one.
It really does.
Why do they think? What, they said it replaced the other one eventually? Like, I don't understand. Why would they do that? This looks much worse. Looks like
I don't know. It does look pretty bad, though.
It sounds like shit, too. They don't have the music. Oh, there it is, but it's like, you can barely hear it.
It looks like it runs better now.
Maybe it runs slightly better, but it looks like crap.
Oh my god, get back here. I don't think so, buddy.
You may run like haze, but you hit like shit. This reminds me of.
Alright, I get the idea. I don't actually like...
I was born in 90, so I never got to experience a lot of things.
I don't actually like that version, if I'm being honest. It just, as you said, it just doesn't look as good. Yeah. The best way to inflate. Dig Dug inflates Figar almost to bursting in this magazine advertisement for the console versions of Dig Dug. But which approach will best boost your high score? It's the player on the right approaching horizontally.
Interesting.
New cartridge report. Atari Age magazine announces the impending arrival of Dig Dug in this preview article, which shows screenshots from both the VCS and 5200 versions.
Guess which one is better, boys and girls? Is it the top? Is it the bottom?
What is with this ad? It's so weird.
I'm trying to read it, I don't know.
Yeah. Imagine this scene. A top executive at a video game company is sitting peacefully at his desk. Suddenly, one of the company's best designers bursts in with his idea for a terrific new game.
We have this little guy named Dig Dug who digs tunnels.
The designer explains, and he
finds these enemies, Figar and Puka, underground.
Figar and Puka?
Yeah, Figar is a fire-breathing dragon, and Puka, well, he sort of looks like a giant tomato wearing yellow sunglasses.
Sunglasses? Right! And the miner loses a life if they touch him or if Figar hits him with his flames. Only the miner has a weapon, a pump. If he hits Figar or Puka with the pump hose, he can pop them up with air until they pop. Pop? Yeah! Or he can drop rocks on them. That's worth more points. And if he hits more than one enemy with a single rock, he gets extra points. Oh, and Figar and Puka can turn into ghosts and travel right through the ground to attack. By the way, did I mention the bonus? Vegetables? At this point, what does the executive do? Throw the lunatic out of his office? Of course not. These are video games we're talking about, and that young genius has just invented Dig Dug, one of the most popular video games ever. Now, all of his wild creativity has been adapted for the Atari home video game system. And as one wit put it, Dig Dug is causing a minor sensation. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, very funny.
You'll dig Dig Dug, a 2-page magazine ad for the home versions of Dig Dug. Dig Dug 5200 Review. Dig Dug contains all the delightful silliness and challenging gameplay of the original. Reads this July 1983 review from the Computer Entertainer newsletter. Let's see what they have to say. Dig Dug brings a very good version of Atari's own arcade game to the home screen for 1 or 2 players at any of 10 difficulty levels. You control Dig Dug, a white-suited little creature who burrows his way underground, creating his own maze of tunnels while he avoids or destroys Puka, the monster, and Figar, the fire-breathing dragon. The methods for ridding the Earth of Pukas and Figars are unique among video games. They can be crushed by having Dig Dug tunnel under a boulder so that it falls on the meanies. Or they can be literally blown up by having Dig Dug extend his blue hose into them while you pump your joystick firing button repeatedly. This sounds very wrong. Suddenly turned into Leisure Suit Larry. You have to be quick, especially at higher difficulty levels, because Pukas and Figars will turn into ghosts. If Dig Dug doesn't reach them soon enough, ghosts are particularly dangerous because they can form directly through the ground, turning back to their former nasty selves. Only when they enter a tunnel in their spectral state, they can only be destroyed by balking them with boulders. Bonus points are awarded when Dig Dug munches the fruit or vegetable that appears for 10 seconds in the center of the screen after 2 rocks have fallen. Dig Your Own Maze. Dig Dug is a whimsical game that has been very popular in the arcades, and this version contains all the delightful silliness and challenging gameplay of the original. Graphics nearly duplicate the coin-op, offering splashy colors and cute characters. Play action is reminiscent of some maze games, yet the action of digging tunnels in constantly new patterns is more appealing than always following the same predetermined pathways. Because the player has more control in this game, strategic thinking adds to the enjoyment. It's also refreshing to play a game in which you don't shoot at your enemies. Dig Dug is lots of fun to play and a must for your game library. Cartridge, recommended MSR $44.95. Alright, we're almost done this collection, actually, by the looks of it. Dig Dug VCS. Developed by GCC, which had also created the VCS version of Galaxian, the VCS port of Dig Dug was a surprisingly faithful and fun translation of the original game on what was now 6-year-old hardware. Dig Dug platform Atari 2600, release year 1983. Dig to defeat Puka and Figar, but keep an eye out for valuable veggies. While the Atari 2600 was already 6 years old by the time Dig Dug was released, its programmers were able to create a remarkable translation of the game to the very different hardware. This looks even worse.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Are we plowing through driftwood here? What's going on?
I mean, it's playable, but...
Jesus.
Disgusting.
Oh, they blew up a lot faster. What the hell? Well, I just beat the game.
Whoa. Super fast.
Right? Shit. No animation when he dies, like in the other one.
But still, not terrible.
It's fun. The important thing is that it's fun, right? That's a brick, I guess. Come here! Let me just ply through this. What? You can shoot them through the bricks? That doesn't make any sense. Wait, what? Could you do that in the original?
I don't think so.
So wait, if I stand here... Fuck. Let me try that again, because that made no sense to me.
You can't do it now.
Fuck. Alright, I get the idea anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too much time on these.
Basically. If you have the other ones, why would you play? Oh god.
It's not termites, it's a TV commercial for Atari's Dig Dug. Oh, this should be fun.
It's not termites. It isn't mice.
Oh god.
The new video game cartridge from Atari. Console sold separately and hooked up by an adult. You dig for balloon men. You dig for dragons. You can dig yourself into all sorts of trouble.
It's Stu! Look, it's Stu! Dude, that looks exactly like you. That's Stu. It's Stu. We found what Stu looks like when he is a kid. Holy shit!
Like, but it does look a little bit like me. I wasn't that like, heavy set.
So there's two things that pissed me off there. Well, mainly one thing. When that kid put in the Atari cartridge and then slammed his hand down with such force on top of the cartridge, did you notice that?
No, I didn't. You see, it always just sleep set. Dig Dug just murdering families.
It's just murdering men. The other thing is, I was expecting the kid to, when he started playing the game, then fall through the floor. I was really rooting for that to happen, and it didn't.
Yeah,
no, watch this again. Watch the kid slam his hand on top of the Atari game. So he puts the Atari game into the slot, and then he slams his hand down on top. Like, why are you so rough on it? Well, that's not pushing it in. That's slamming it in.
I wonder what the kid's actually saying. He's like, "Hey, this game is fun, mommy."
I don't know.
My mommy loves me.
All right. Dig Dug 7800. When the Atari 7800 game system finally hit shelves in May 1986, a Namco classic was there on day one. Dig Dug. The enhanced power of the hardware meant that this version was closest to the original arcade game. Look at that box. We gotta check for autographs. Little shitheads. Somebody want to scan that barcode for me? No.
Actually, it has a barcode.
Yeah. Well, they all do. Well, they're scans of the actual boxes, right?
Yeah. I mean, these are 1986, though. I'm saying. This should look good because this is the 7800.
You were saying?
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed already.
It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look good. It looks better than some of the other versions, I suppose. Oh, it takes forever to kill them.
You gotta like you gotta pound on the button.
Come here. I got little.
See, this is the same as the arcade where it just runs through you.
Alright. I get the idea. I mean, it's the same bloody game over and over.
Bro.
Pump your joystick, bro. Dude, like pump your joystick, man! Galaga 7800, Namco's celebrated follow-up to Galaxian, was not available for any home platform in America until late 1986, when this Atari 7800 version was released.
I have this for Nintendo.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of different versions of Galaga for all different systems.
The Nintendo version came out around, or maybe a couple of years after this, but not that much after.
Galaga platform Atari 7800, release year 1986. One of the most popular arcade shooters of all time. Galaga was already 5 years old by the time this version was released for the Atari 7800 platform. If a Galagan flagship captures you in its macro beam, destroy it to get your command ship back into action.
How come they didn't have the arcade version of Galaga? That's disappointing.
You shoot a lot faster.
How come there's no arcade version of this one?
I don't know. Didn't we play the arcade version earlier?
That was Galaxian, not Galaga. I don't think we played Galaga.
No, that's true. We didn't. Unless the Galaga arcade version is already included in the Atari collection.
Maybe, but you think they'd stick it here then again or something.
We'll check at the very end. I'll quickly look in the library.
Have you played Galaga before, like, more than once?
I've played it on. I think I played it on the NES like you did, because I have the entire NES library on my NES Mini, right?
Are you an X-wing fighter at the bottom?
Yeah, the X-wing fighter at the bottom. Yeah. Stay in formation. Stay in formation.
Stay on target. Yeah, stay on target. Let's see, that's that guy.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
You're close.
Then you got the disembodied voice. Luke, use the Force. Switch on your targeting computer, Luke, you stupid asshole. Jesus, what a mess. Alright, anyway, that was interesting. Alright. What's in a name?
I wish Obi-Wan said that.
I wish Obi-Wan said that. According to planner Shigeru Yokoyama, Galaga is a portmanteau of Galaxian and Ga, the Japanese word meaning moth, appropriate for a game about space bugs.
Interesting.
Box art. Original art used for the box of the 7800 version of Galaga by prolific game box artist Mark Erickson, who painted over 90 different video game boxes over the course of his career.
Cool.
Looks good. What is this? The video game update. The September 1986 issue of Computer Entertainer gave good, though not perfect, scores to the Atari 7800 versions of Galaga and Dig Dug. I'm not reading all that. First of all, that text is way too small. Alright. Xevious 7800. The final game released during this golden era of Atari Namco partnership was the 7800 version of Xevious. And there's the box.
It's dangerous. It's devious. It's Xevious. Is it Xevious or Xevious?
I think it's pronounced Xevious. I'm not sure.
Probably. Who knows?
Xevious, platform Atari 7800, release year 1986. The first home console version of Namco's classic vertical shooter released in the US. This version of Xevious captured much of the arcade game's appeal, though apparently not its colors. How do I start a game? Novice. Oh shit. That's yeah. There we go.
Oh, it looks horrible.
Yeah, this looks fantastically bad.
Looks like a Game Boy game. Does it look like a Game Boy game with that color?
No. It doesn't look like a game. No, it doesn't look like a Game Boy game, but it looks like an NES game for sure.
No, it doesn't look anything like not as good as an NES game.
God damn it! I was about to say it plays a lot easier, and then I died.
We shouldn't say it. Oh, you did. Never mind.
Looks like a dog's dinner.
Looks like crap.
Hey, listen. You be quiet about what I feed my dog, okay?
Also, the same button is used to drop bombs. It's kind of weird. Because you notice I'm shooting the bomb and the firing the laser at the same time.
Oh, that's annoying. It's only one button?
Yeah.
What's 7802 buttons?
It actually makes it a little bit easier, if I'm being honest, because
Yeah,
then when you get up to these bases here, you can easily destroy them.
I don't know if that does anything for you to kill those things aside from coins, but at least nice you can do it.
Fuck. Alright.
Is it fun?
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. I don't mind it.
That's a really thrilling testimonial.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna sit here and fangasm over it or anything, but it's not bad. Let's just say that in my review, here's my review for it. If I had to take a choice between being captured by Jigsaw and being put into a trap or this game, I'd choose this game.
Okay, fair
That's
enough.
my review.
Must be really good.
Yeah.
Does it make your nether regions come alive?
I'm not you, always asleep.
I don't think it does.
No. I'm making some progress here, at least. Those little things flying around on the ground or driving around on the ground look like little fucking Roomba vacuum cleaners. That's what I thought I was shooting at for a second there. Xevious 7800 review. Computer Entertainer's review of Xevious praised the 7800's conversion, but criticized the skimpy black and white game manual and its lack of crucial information about the game's enemies. I'll check this out. Xevious is an adaptation of the Namco arcade game by Atari for the 7800 Pro system. The theme, a switch on the usual one, is that we are the aliens, and the Xevians are the original inhabitants who now want Earth back without humans. Xevian forces are both airborne and on the ground, commanding a wide array of sometimes deceptively slow-moving vehicles. The game is playable at 4 skill levels, putting you in command of a Solvalu fighter.
We're the aliens and they want Earth back. They're the original inhabitants? That's like so stupid. Seriously.
Yeah. Equipped with a zapper for destroying airborne enemies and a blaster for eliminating Xevian ground forces. The action scrolls vertically as your fighter moves up the screen, attacking forces in the air, weave and shoot, sometimes trying to pin you in a crossfire. Xevian ground forces also fire on your fighter. Enemy citadels are hidden underground, but your target site glows red when you fly over one. Raise a citadel with a blaster hit and then destroy it with additional shots. Points are also earned by raising flags hidden in the ground and waterways. Fly over raised flags to earn extra ships. Survive the enemy forces and you will face the Andor Genesis mothership. A shot to its central reactor disables it, but it will be followed by more Xevian attack forces and another mothership. Xevious features excellent, detailed graphics with especially good representation of moving three-dimensional objects. Gameplay is highly challenging and will certainly appeal to fans of the arcade game. However, the game is marred by Atari's skimping on the instructions. They provide a list of 21 Xevian forces worth varying amounts of points, but no pictures. As a result, there's no way to plan your strategy for maximum points until you play the game many times and watch score increments to guess what you've hit. A Garu Dorota Maga station is worth 2,000 points, while a Logrum Sphere station is only good for 300. It would be nice to know which is which, especially when hitting the former would give you just enough points for a free ship. We don't object to Atari's trying to save money by printing instructions in black and white instead of color, but omitting the pictures of 21 different enemy forces is inexcusable. Solo or two-player alternating pause available for Atari 7800 only. Recommended. So they trashed on the game, but they still recommend it. MSR 1250.
Sorry. Well,
How Xevious almost came to VCS. Todd Fry discusses his.
Ask how did Stu like Dispatch?
I don't think he watched. I don't think he's watched all of Dispatch yet, so he hasn't seen the ending. He'll have to watch it on my in my playlist section, which I urge many of you to do if you missed any of Dispatch. It's all in the playlist section, and the entire game is now finished. How Xevious almost came to VCS. Todd Fry discusses his impossible port of Xevious to the Atari VCS hardware.
Can I say before you watch this? Oh, you already played it. Okay. Like, this already sounds like he's going to be like, he's going to explain why he couldn't do it. Like, that's... I feel like there's something wrong with this. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, let's find out what he says, and then we'll
right.
debunk it afterwards.
Sure.
We were doing things that weren't possible.
I feel like Stu would like Punch-Out. That's definitely a move Stu would do.
Engineer assigned Xevious. I was working on my Sword Quest Air World, I Ching-based game, and they asked someone to do Xevious. I said, I can't do that. And they gave it to
Sorry, Punch-Up, I meant.
Again, I won't name names. He said, I can't do that. So they said, Todd. And I did something, but it was not possible. There was not a snowball's chance in hell of making Xevious work on the Atari 2600. So what we had to do was find the essence. Pilar's Defender captures the essence of Defender. You can tell it's Defender. It's got a lot of flicker. Pac-Man captures the essence of Pac-Man. You can tell it's Pac-Man. It's got a lot of flicker. Xevious has the scrolling...
HM, his shirt must be very inappropriate. It's blacked out.
Something like up to...
Stu actually said that earlier, saying that there's probably a naked woman on his shirt. In reality, it's probably just product placement for another game company, and they can't show it because of those kind of reasons.
Scrolling over each other at different speeds. And that is awesome. It's like, it is an awesome piece of software that captured the essence. So what is it that's fun about that? It's like, so Xevious has a lot of stuff going on in the air. And there's a lot of different things that can be flying at you fast. And then it
probably a Jar Jar shirt.
Ground. So you have two planes, two time, you got these tanks on the ground that you can shoot with ground shooting bullets. You got these things in the sky that you can shoot with sky shooting bullets. You don't have to worry about running into the things on the ground, but they might shoot at you. And you do have to worry about dodging. It's fast. This is what made Xevious appealing at that time. People had learned enough about playing these games that they could effectively play two games at the same time. Shoot the thing on the ground and dodge from and shoot the things in the sky, which maybe people would not have. Actually, it's funny to think about again. Weird. 10 years earlier, 5 years earlier, 7 years earlier, when combat was the game, people might not have been able to play Xevious. I invented a way to intertwine multiple display drivers on this 2600 screen. I did this for Rob Dibble's NFL football game, where we wanted the players in their little horizontal slices, right? But I wanted two horizontal slices. I wanted one horizontal slice for the blue team and one horizontal slice for the red team. I stayed until 1 o'clock that morning, and I left it on Rob's screen so that when he came in, there were two sets of objects vertically scrolling, X's and O's, red X's and blue O's, going like this because they're running on completely separate screens, they thought. The red screen was keeping track of its vertical positions and was completely separated from the blue screen, but they were intertwined. So if you turn the blue screen off, the red screen would be going like this. You turn the red screen off and put the blue screen on, it'd be going like this. You put both on and they're going like that. And it's really cool. I mean, it was a eureka moment. But in Xevious, I needed something like 3 or 4 separate sets of objects. There's stuff coming down and shooting at you. And you need my shots going up. And you need the ground moving down. And the things moving on the ground. Yeah, miscellaneous, nightmarish wizardry in there. I mean, I get a really high moving, get a really high graphics complexity count up there on Xevious for the 2600. I used everything for the moving objects, right? Gray tanks moving across the ground, all kinds of different stuff flying in the sky. Those were all in one sprite, and they were vertically separated. But if you separate them across enough, it kind of looks like a bunch of stuff. You can't quite tell that there's only one stream of them coming. If there's some over here and some over here, and they're moving like this, it looks plenty complex. But I was out of things. I have to keep track of where the player is. And what I decided to do was to use a 4-bit wide missile and horizontally position it just a little bit to make it a little bit of a comma, upside down comma shape, and then flip it the next screen. It flickered to be an upside, so I made kind of an upside down V ship out of the single bit of the missile. That's the ship. It's the missile. In the same way, that's funny, in the same way that I made the fruit out of a ball and a missile. I mean, this is how close you are to scraping the bottom of the barrel when you're doing impossible coin-op conversions on the Atari 2600. Oh, I'll make a piece of graphics that in the coin-op is a sweet-looking little cherry. I will make out of a blue block with a orange block inside of it. And that seemed like a good idea at the time, and it was. And I will take a single pixel of graphics and make it into a V-shaped ship. It's like that is like really reaching down to the very last drop.
All right. You got anything to say about it?
I mean, what he made is not terrible. I guess they didn't release it, unfortunately. He didn't finish it because they ran out of, the whole industry crashed or whatever. But
yeah,
I don't know. It makes me wonder, like, what would have happened if, like, David Crane, for example, had that job to make that game. What if he would have been like, it's just too hard, or if he would have accomplished something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, this guy, it's nice that he talks or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to trash the guy really, but like, what's his track record? His track record is like that I'm aware of. It's like that Pac-Man game, number one.
Yes.
Number two, that he was talking about the Sword World stuff that he made.
Yeah.
Which is like not very good games, but I guess they're not supposed to be. They're mostly like a contest or something. And that series wasn't finished either, although that's not his fault. But like, what's his? If he made like some amazing game that he's like, listen, this one was just too hard, that I would like take that with a lot more value than coming from somebody who never really made a good game that I'm aware of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. I'm looking up his credits right now. Maybe he made a whole bunch of games I'm not aware of. But I don't think so.
All right, well, you do that. I'm going to read this last thing here. Xevious Obstacles. Atari graphic artist Alan Murphy's notes and illustrations of the Xevious enemies prepared during the development of the cancelled 5200 version. So this is his original notes of all the enemies and chips.
He also made Asteroids for Atari 8-bit. And, couple other games, but nothing.
Oh, they're probably going to release another DLC. The End of the Beginning, where Atari Japan failed, Namco thrived, becoming one of the most groundbreaking, influential game publishers in all of Japan. But that's another story. Yeah. So they're going to probably talk about that in another DLC.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. All right, so what was the thing we wanted to look up in the library? What game was it that you wanted to look up? It was Galaga.
Galaga for arcade, yeah.
Filter by all. A, B, C, D, E, F. No, there's only one R.
Well, you have it sorted by platform.
Sort by title.
Sort by title, yeah. I go to G.
Oh, I love Ninja Golf. That game is actually good.
Yeah, it's only they only have it for. Wait a second. Go forward though. Go. Okay, Galaxia they have the arcade, but they don't have it for Galaga. I wonder. Oh, they don't have, wait, they're not showing it for the arcade.
It might be the confidential one. You never know. That's a G. So the confidential ones are games. They give you little hints on what to do on a specific game, and if you can do it, you unlock that envelope.
But wait a second. Go back for a second. We just played Galaxian before for the arcade, and it's not showing up on this list. Use Atari 5200. Did we play for arcade, or am I mistaken?
I don't think we had the arcade version.
I thought we did. I'm just remembering wrong. Okay, well, it's too bad.
But there's a whole bunch of these. There's a whole bunch of these Atari confidential envelopes, and then when you do this, whatever they ask you to do in here, in a battleground in Sector 3 on Fields of Golden Void, if guests appear, don't hesitate, for both must be destroyed. And whatever, they're like hints for something you have to do in a specific game. And if you do it properly, you unlock this, which is another game.
Yeah, why does it have to be so complicated? Why don't you just say, go to this game and do this?
I don't know.
Supposed to first solve my riddle.
Yes. The Riddler is the one who actually made this collection.
That's funny. Riddle me this, Batman.
Riddle me this, Batman, in order to solve this riddle. Nobody got time for these riddles. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Riddle me this, Batman. When you play the Atari 50th anniversary collection, you must solve my riddle to play this one game. All right, anyway. That's going to do it for tonight, folks. That's all of them now. Why does it say only 95% done? What is going on here? I thought we did everything.
I think we did. We missed one thing or something, but...
Maybe.
How can you tell if you did it or not? Even it doesn't light up.
It's white when it's been viewed, and it's white when it's not.
None of these are white; they're all yellow.
That's what I'm saying. If it's yellow, that means we've already looked at it. If it's white, that means we never looked at it.
Maybe at the very beginning you didn't go down one of the branches.
That's kind of weird. I'm not seeing any.
I bet you it's the first thing down.
Maybe. Nope.
What was that? The very go back to the right. Right, down. Oh, that's just a quote. All right, so I guess nothing there. We did everything.
Yeah, I don't know what's. That's a glitch, I guess. Anyway, yeah, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. That was the Atari 50th anniversary collection. This was the Namco collection that recently released. A year later, I mean, all the DLCs for this game, I think the last one we played was last year, and that was the first console war between Atari and Intellivision. And and that was last year. We streamed that around this time last year when it first came out. So it's been a year since they released a DLC for this. And Stu and I both thought that they were done with this, that they had moved on. But apparently not. Apparently they brought out this DLC, and it looks like there's going to be another one based on how they ended this DLC. It looks like they're going to continue it on with another DLC at some point, probably in January or something. So if they do come out with another DLC, I will definitely be bringing Stu back for that, and we will do it. Still on at least 23 more hours? What are you talking about?
You stay on at least 23 more hours.
Oh, stay on at least. Now
free update?
No, these DLCs cost money. They're not expensive, thankfully, but they do cost money. None of the DLCs are free.
How much was it?
It was $5.
Alright, not so bad. But it'd be nice if it was free. That'd be really cool.
Well, yeah, true. They got to make their money, though. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you, Stu, is when do you want to do the second part of Phantasmagoria? Like, I know you've been busy the last couple of days, but
yeah, I'm not gonna be around like I told you the next couple of days. So, starting the later half of the week, though, I'll be home.
I also want to do our next podcast as well.
Yeah, so once I'm back, I'm starting like Wednesday or so. I'll be around. Excuse me. After that, pretty much straight through. I'm not like planning any excursions, so I can do it at that point.
All right, cool. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Always Asleep, James. I believe Lewis was here earlier. Excuses.
Just do it now. Stop messing around.
There you go. The people have spoken.
I'd like to.
Yeah. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. We've been streaming this for about 2 hours and 41 minutes, almost 3 hours. And all in all, not a bad DLC, I don't think. It's pretty cool. No, some of the games in this DLC are worth it. They're ones that I will definitely probably come back to at some point and play on my own time.
The only thing with this DLC I'll say is instead of calling it, what is it called, Pac-Man and Beyond, they should have called it the Todd Fry Whining DLC.
The Todd Fry Whining DLC. Well, no, the DLC is not actually called that, though. It's called the
Namco something or other.
The Namco, collection.
Should have called Todd Fry, Spotlight on Todd Fry DLC. Excuses. That'll be the right title.
But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Have a fantastic night. Thank you to
Dig Dug and some other crap.
Dig Dug and some other crap. That's funny. Jesus Christ. Anyway, thank you so much to everybody tuning in and everybody watching after the fact. It's greatly appreciated. If you guys like what you see, consider liking and subscribing. I cover PS4, PS5, PC, and VR games. If any of that interests you, consider liking and subscribing. Over on my playlist section, you'll find all of the missed games that you may have missed. Say, as an example, you missed the final chapter of Dispatch. Just check it out in the playlist section. You'll find all of the other chapters of Dispatch in there as well. We also do a podcast, Stu's Game Reviews and I, called The Paintcast. You'll find episodes of The Paintcast that you may have missed in the playlist section as well. So check those out if you guys have time. And until then, have a fantastic night. And we'll see you soon at the Gamers Grotto. Take care once again, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back on Stu's channel later on this week. We're going to be going into Phantasmagoria Part 2. It's Stu playing the game for the very first time. So if you want to see that, check it out on Stu's Game Reviews' YouTube channel. It's Stu's Game Reviews. Yeah, you can check it out on there later on this week, as well as the first part as well. Until then, guys, have a great night. We'll see you soon at the Gamers Grotto. Take care.
Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot.